Welcome back to the Drunk Rasslin Lounge. Jonesy, it's the season premiere.
It is!
It's the season premiere.
Good God Almighty!
1 year ago, we reviewed Royal Rumble 2020, and we looked forward and previewed WrestleMania and started the road to WrestleMania, and it was the first episode of the Drunk Rasslin podcast.
And the wheels came off of it.
It's not the. You think it's our fault? Do we have to take some responsibility for that?
Man, I haven't even thought about that.
Man.
We might have to look into that. I hope we're not legally liable. I'll go hide.
Dude, it just came down to you. You and me end up getting blamed for the coronavirus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
they pinpointed back. If it wasn't for you guys, then
what if it's all a Saudi, like the Saudis pin it on us for when you used to. That's their revenge. Instead of hunting you down and beheading you. This is getting off the rails.
Information campaign.
Disinformation campaign. This is coming off the rails right away.
We're doing good. So it is 1 year later.
It is 1 year. Yes.
So we just had Royal Rumble 2021.
2021
with a capacity crowd of
nobody,
television screens, and fake crowd noise.
Oh man. Yep. You know what? Before we get started, okay. we got a tasting.
Oh,
we got one.
Do we do that on this?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah. So I picked this up, and this is some Tim Smith Southern Reserve Bourbon, Whiskey Wood Fired.
Whiskey Wood.
I guess it's Whiskey Wood Fired, but Southern Reserve Bourbon. I don't know. It got a bronze sip award.
They smoked it with bourbon barrel wood, is what I'm guessing.
Okay.
By that.
I might be down for that.
I might just be making up something fancy for Tim Smith or whatever his name was, but can you have a more generic name?
Tim Smith?
Yeah.
I
guess
it's I don't think so.
Danny Jones, Justin Jones, those would be worse. No, Smith is worse.
Yeah, I think so.
Ooh, buddy.
It's not good.
It smells high quality.
Yeah.
No.
That's an interesting smell. It doesn't smell like bourbon.
Mm-mm.
It's got a lot of.
It smells like a blended whiskey.
Smells like a blended whiskey.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little. I feel like I get some, almost like some peanut butter in it.
I don't.
There's like a lemon.
I don't notice much of.
There's like a lemon smell that comes in on the back end.
Maybe some citrus, but like, I smell a little booziness. I smell a little blended whiskey. I don't smell any smoke. I don't really smell the peanut butter.
For sure.
But
let's give it a try.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's an interesting flavor.
Yeah. It's got a little bit of like wood.
Yeah, like
I think
smoke flavor, but like a wood flavor, like a woody.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not even like the Devil's Cut. I talked about having kind of that driftwood flavor, like wet wood.
That's all I drink anymore.
Oh yeah. I mean, I liked that. Yeah. I don't dislike this, but this is more like, gosh, almost like I want to say like cedary, like a cedar flavor to it.
Yeah. That's perfect. Mm-hmm. Like that cedar smell you get when, Yeah.
That's interesting.
It is. It is very different.
I think I like it.
I'll let you know by the end of this.
Yeah, I think I like it. I don't know that it'll become like a regular
staple?
I don't know that I'll ever buy another bottle of it.
Right.
But I think I unless I'm just like with somebody, I'm like, you gotta try this stuff. Tastes like cedar chips.
You know stuff you wouldn't smoke meat with? This tastes like that.
Yeah. It's okay. I wouldn't smoke meat with whiskey either.
Well, I mean, but the wood.
And we didn't to season 2, Jonesy.
Yeah, man.
Here we go.
Look at us, being a year grown up.
Man, we are. We're not old enough to drink it a year.
Mm-mm. I won't tell if you don't.
20 like, well, I guess we did. We would have done 22 years of, or 21 years of secret podcasting,
Right?
sober podcasting.
Right.
And
We
then
invented podcasting.
It's only it's only been the last year that we started podcasting because we were old enough to
Yeah,
drink.
it was
drunk
just
Rasslin.
called the Rasslin podcast before.
Yes.
You can't find our archives though. It's weird.
Secret.
We hid those.
It's top secret.
It is. Yeah, those are for us.
All right, Jonesy. Royal Rumble 2021. Should we run down the card?
Yeah.
How do you got thoughts? What do you?
just
how you want to do it?
Should we just go down the card?
Let's
and
just
talk about it as we go.
Yeah, let's just run down the card and see what comes up.
All right. It's a little bit different episode for us. We don't do these too often. We probably ought to orient our listeners that usually we do watch-alongs here, and tonight we're going to recap something new, something current.
Yeah.
And man,
It's been a
while.
When
since
was the
we've
last
done
time
that.
we did that?
I think it was that greatest wrestling match ever pay-per-view last year. It's like
I think
June.
so. I think so.
Yeah, because that was after Money in the Bank, and I had to, I had to send you a briefcase full of money to watch that pay-per-view.
Dude. Yes.
And to talk about it, and you're like, no, I watched Money in the Bank. I'll never watch any wrestling ever again. I was like, no, Jaron, come on. What's it going to take? You're like $100,000. I was like, okay, well, I'll start a GoFundMe. None of this happened. But anyway, that was the point.
They started GoFundMe. The drunk wrestling fans came together.
all
and
16 of you.
And I had a pretty... Y'all donated. And I had a pretty good 2021. All I had to do was watch the greatest wrestling match of all time.
Yeah.
Which it wasn't. But that's okay.
It was pretty good, though. Anyway, so yeah, we watched some of the pandemic wrestling from last year and decided that we didn't have enough time in our days to devote to being wrestling fans of the modern wrestling product.
So it was just tough to get through, man. Like, and even like last year by Mania, I got into the crowdless shows, and then it was like it was so weird. It was literally like I was like, okay, you know what, I can handle wrestling being like this for a little while, and then the day after Mania, I was like done with it, and then it just got even worse. I did watch. We didn't cover it here, I don't think, but I did watch. One of the first, when they first had the screen, when they first were doing the Thunderdome. Yeah. McIntyre and Randy Orton.
Yep.
I watched one of their matches on a pay-per-view, and I really enjoyed that. But any other time I tried to watch it, man, the canned crowd noise
that's bothered me.
Will pull me out of it.
Yeah.
I'd be fine if they just kind of left it in the background as like ambient to keep me like, oh yeah,
just
this
like
is wrestling.
like a hum of a crowd. Like,
Right.
I don't need chants.
Yeah, but they want to have cheers and boos and
Yeah.
chants and everything, and every time that happens, it pulls me right out instantly.
Right, yeah, absolutely. So it's been a tough year to watch the modern product.
Yes.
And, we've been plenty critical of modern wrestling, and it's not necessarily all for us, and, but this year we wanted to start the way we did last year.
Well, we got to come back for Rumble and Mania.
That's right. It's always going to be this way.
Yeah, it'll be a hard day in my life when I can't at least muster the desire to watch like if AEW takes over WWE, I will probably still tune in for Mania for Rumble and Mania.
Right.
Yeah. And you all know how much I hate AEW. So understand the gravity of that statement.
Get in this guy's Twitter at JM McCaffrey and tell him to watch that Dax Harwood Jungle Boy match. Do it.
If I get,
because he won't do it for me anymore because I made him watch that Money in the Bank, and I don't blame him. Like I'm surprised our friendship lasted.
If I get double-digit tweets at JM McCaffrey to watch that Dax Hardwood Jungle Boy match, I'll watch it.
Yes.
And we'll review it.
Yes.
On a separate, it won't be a main like it can't be the only thing we do like.
No, yeah.
But yeah, we'll
Red label,
I'll do
I
it.
don't know.
I'll do it.
Or an aristocrat label.
Yes. A McCormick's. Be a special McCormick's episode.
All right. so enough of that nonsense. We're here to talk about the show.
Rumble 2021.
So we had an exciting panel. You know what? Like, I don't know that we've talked about this, and I'm not going to try to belabor it too much, but I like the real sport feel of the show opener thing, where you got the old timers and you got a couple of analysts like Peter Rosenberg or whoever, you know, like who are just fans that you know pay attention.
Yep, who are getting paid to be fans.
Well, sure, yeah, they're getting paid to do that for sure, you know. But like, you know, that dais they have where it's like an analysis thing, like I kind of dig that, like that it adds legitimacy to it, and I don't watch it or pay a lot of it. It's kind of like an NFL pre-show
for sure.
Like, I'll turn it on because I'm ready to watch football, and I'll be like, Terry Bradshaw said something funny, but you know, I don't pay attention to the whole thing. Like, I'm doing other stuff, but like just having that build into or lead into your wrestling show, I kind of dig that stuff. Okay. I really do.
Here's my issue with it. I don't have too much of an opinion on it, good, bad, or other. I would probably be a lot more interested in it if I was a lot more interested in wrestling.
Sure, yeah.
Because I used to always get into all the little extra things that when I was really into wrestling, I would get into all the little extra things they did, and I wanted to hear what they thought, and you know what I mean. So like I was into that stuff, and you know sometimes stuff would happen like early on when they started doing this stuff, that thing where Miz got all fired up and cussed out Daniel Bryan, like that was cool, you know, like so like I would probably be into that stuff. But I also think there's a little bit of like a mixed message that we're sending here, because they're not allowed to be called matches and wrestling and wrestlers. We're not allowed to say wrestling or you know, like all this stuff. It's sports entertainment and you know the emphasis on the entertainment. But we're also now because ESPN has to acknowledge in us, we're trying to do all this stuff to make it feel like real sports presentation. Like why, you know, I feel like we should be going the other way, especially right now where the presentation of the shows is going so far the other way, where we're, you know, pre-taping and doing so much stuff, you know what I mean? And so
the immense appeal of it, though, I think it's going to serve, and this is, you know, this is a big deal right now, where the WWE Network is going to be moving to Peacock, that streaming service. Like, I think that's going to serve a big purpose on those stations, because I think the whole point of all that is to get new viewers, because I don't think the WWE Network got new viewers that weren't like you know, they didn't
already
get the
wrestling fans
fan or anything, but they're like, hey, people that watch The Office have Peacock, so they're gonna come watch the WWE Network. Maybe they'll see something that interests them.
So well, but hold on, let's unpack that, because you know what's gonna happen is those guys who are our age that have Peacock and are watching The Office, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, hey, this WWE thing. I remember Stone Cold Steve Austin in high school, and they're gonna turn on some Attitude Era stuff, and they're gonna go, oh gosh, I forgot how much I liked wrestling, and they're gonna tune in Raw, and they're never gonna watch any more wrestling.
Well,
they're gonna tune into like a current Raw, and they're gonna go, what the fuck is this?
That's for
bullshit?
Sure a problem. I'm saying this is where their heads are at with this stuff.
Wow.
Like,
I get.
So,
well, okay,
corporate entity,
that's fine.
Yeah, they're all in on this. Like, yeah, we can grab the lapsed fan. It's like, you got to improve other things,
man,
if you can grab the lapsed fan.
Right.
So, enough about that. So, I like the pre-show thing. I think it's kind of neat that they present it that way.
Yep.
I know, speaking out of both sides of your mouth, like that's.
It's just weird to me. It's just weird. Yeah,
well, I totally get what you're saying. I kind of ignore that, like that whole thing, but it's neat that they're treating it legitimate there, and they're giving work to guys, right. So so JBL, Booker,
but like always glad. Well, JBL doesn't need it. I don't know Booker's financial state, but I'm always glad to see Booker get a payday.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let me rephrase that. I'm always glad to see Booker T. I'm always glad to see JBL. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, and the other people that are working up there, fine, that's great. You know, they're contributing to fandom and everything like that.
Not Rosenberg. I don't need him. There's got to be somebody less annoying.
it's that other. Never mind.
Yes.
Sam Rosen, maybe.
Rosen, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Is that whatever his name is? You know.
Well, he's another guy. I'm saying.
There's another guy.
Rosenberg is the DJ.
Oh, okay.
Guy
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, so let's move on to the show.
All right.
So we got a pre-show. We got an hour and a half of talking heads on a behind a desk. We got video packages, the whole thing, and then we move on to the pre-show match, which was always kind of denigrated, but I feel like anymore, like it's we get 4-hour shows, and I'm like, okay, this is fine.
Yeah.
I don't want a 5-hour pay-per-view.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
So put a couple of those on the pre-show. And then if I want to watch them, I can.
Yeah.
You know? So we start off with...
Which I didn't. So just full disclosure, I didn't watch the pre-show at all.
Okay. The opening match was Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Asuka and Charlotte Flair for the Women's Tag Team Championship.
Right.
So we have one women's champion in this match. Like... world champion in this match. We have the best women's wrestler, or the biggest star women's wrestler going right now in the ring.
Right.
We have
one who could be.
One who probably could be, and we have Nia Jax. And I got to be honest, like I like the pairing of Shayna and Nia Jax. Like, that's where Nia Jax needs to be.
Okay.
If she needs to be a heater like that. Like that's fine.
I can see that.
But also, Shayna Baszler could be a heater, and she's in there taking all the bumps. You know, she's in there working the match with the baby faces. My other thing is, Asuka and Charlotte, cool. We're doing this thing with these tag team championships where it was like WWE like 96 to 2000, or I guess 96 to like 98, where they're like, hey, we hate tag teams, so Shawn Michaels and Steve Austin, you guys go be a tag team and win the championship.
You could probably stretch that timeline a lot longer than the 3 years you just suggested.
But we had good tag teams come out at that time, like the New Age Outlaws and stuff like that. But like they always went back to that.
They always went back to that. You know, I mean, even after we had Christian, Edge and Christian, and the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys, we still also had like Big Show and Taker randomly, and Undertaker and Big Show, or I was gonna say Rock and Big Show randomly. You know what I mean? Like Daniel Bryan and Kane. You know, like we still obviously always just take. Well, these two guys are almost over. Let's just make them the tag team for a while.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's great, and sometimes sometimes it's Chris Benoit and Angle, and Edge and Rey Mysterio.
Yeah,
and sometimes and Taker and Big Show. I like Taker and Big Show.
Well,
you know?
But also you say all that and you're like, oh, we pulled names out of a hat.
Yes, exactly.
We're gonna put Angle and Benoit together tonight. Well, what do you think is gonna fucking happen? Right?
Yeah.
Like this is gonna be the best tag match you've ever seen, and they've never wrestled a tag team match.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Or at least Angle has it.
Right.
Like it's just they had a.
It's hedging the bet. It's taking two guys who are already over, so we don't have to do the work, and because Vince McMahon doesn't care about tag teams.
Right. And, giving them a spot on the card and all that, that's great, but, that's what this feels like to me. And it also feels like just giving Charlotte something to do. And we're going to get more into this. Well, I guess in the finish, like, it was Ric Flair and Lacey Evans came out.
Right. Is that going to be her Mania match?
Yeah. I mean, is it not?
I hope not. That's got to be.
I hope not either. I hope Mania for the next 20 years is Charlotte and Rhea Ripley every fucking year.
I feel that just feels like such a
Elimination Chamber match.
Yes, you know what I mean. Like that feels like such a the storyline we actually have for Charlotte only goes a month, so so this will keep her busy till then, and then the next night. Fucking Becky can come back or whatever they do, right?
So I think they're now if that's on the table, if Becky will be back,
right,
and they can build to that, then cool.
Yeah.
But I also
I'm not calling that by the way. That was just my example, but
because I don't think that's on the table.
Right,
at all.
I don't either.
I don't think we'll see Becky until SummerSlam at the earliest, honestly, and maybe next year, like
Who knows?
whenever she wants to come back, but. The whole thing with Ric Flair, it's like you're forcing Charlotte to be a babyface
Right.
by putting one of the most beloved guys and teaming him with someone who's not on your level.
Not even close.
But they are fully into making her whatever they can. Okay? And she's worked her ass off, but man, is she not even close, like you said.
Right.
There are
sometimes
4 or 5 other women right now
Yeah.
who can have that Mania match with Charlotte.
Yep.
Now, should we say that, Charlotte should be trying to make somebody at Mania and trying to elevate them? Okay, whatever. What's wrong?
I'm sorry. I was just noticing.
Jesus. I watched this with my bare hands.
No, it's the Glen Cairn class is etched on the bottom of these things.
Oh, I've never fucking noticed
And
that.
I've never noticed that before. And I just happened to know. If you look at it through the top, you can see it in the bubble.
It sure is. I read it upside down, though.
What a. Sorry, guys.
Why have we never seen that?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Cut this out. It's fine.
No, this is staying
This
in.
is definitely
Sorry,
Royal
guys.
Rumble talk.
Sorry, guys.
We were so bored by this rumble that we looked
Just-
at the bottom of our taster glasses.
I wasn't trying to distract you. It was my fault because I noticed and I was like, what the fuck does that say?
Well, no, as soon as you made that face, I was like, oh shit, there's like a booger on the side of it or something. And I washed these myself, and I was like, fuck, I'm so embarrassed.
We've been drinking out of these glasses for a year and
Never-
haven't noticed them
Never
once.
Never once. Okay.
All right.
Anyway.
So Lacey Evans, and allow me to clarify that a lot of times we can talk about somebody not being up to a certain level, somebody not belonging in a storyline, without necessarily casting aspersion on their character, their talent, or their effort. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's kind of what Lacey Evans needs a lot more time.
Yeah.
She needs a lot more development. She's obviously athletically gifted.
Yeah. And she plays her character well.
But the other thing is so they're already developing. I mean, the women's evolution has been a thing for 3 years.
Yeah.
And they're obviously developing a type already. You know what I mean? Like the same way the WWE guys all need to be like at least, like I remember there used to be a time where you could go look at the OVW roster page, and with the exception of like Bobby Lashley and maybe like Crime Time, they all just look the same.
Yeah.
These handsome, short-haired, built, buff white dudes that all look exactly the same. And now we've got that. So much of this women's division is already like very, very fit, blonde. You know what I mean? Like they're coming out of a production line. Like,
right,
here,
yeah.
this is what we have, and Lacey's just another one of those. So she not only does she blend in there, but they just push that through and do whatever with it, because she's the one that's there right now.
Here's the caveat I'm going to make.
Okay.
So, all of the outliers to that stance are their other stars. Okay.
Right.
So, Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, Sasha, Bailey.
Yep.
I'm going to say Bianca Belair
Right.
because of what happened Sunday. They're all outliers to what you just said. The only one who is a bona fide one of those is Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
And I mean, come on. Like, you can't put her in the same class as these model women that come through here. Like, she is incredible.
Right. Yeah.
So all those outliers are not those. But
Yeah.
you see them, like you said, keep doing this.
Yeah.
Dana Brooke.
I mean, Dana Brooke.
Dana Brooke is
Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans, Mandy Rose. I'm gonna put Natalya in, and I love Natalya, and she's worked her. She is a
I
legend.
think they've all worked their ass off. I got to be honest with you. Like,
I mean,
all
you
of them
don't
have.
you don't get to the main roster
Right,
without
yeah.
working your ass
Sure,
off.
sure.
Okay, but also,
They have a type, is
yeah,
what you're saying.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting to see it developed so immediate to the women's movement.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I'm surprised. And probably it's not. I mean, if we go back and look, I mean, you know what we've always had Trish and Tori Wilson and Stacy Keibler, and you know, not quite the same thing, but they also weren't performing in the ring at quite the same level. So
yeah. Well, we'll also get into a thing later that calls into question the type thing, but
all right,
for me anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, so this is kind of a throwaway match. We needed to disassociate Charlotte and Asuka anyway, because for fuck's sake, we need them to on the outlier list, I forgot Asuka, which I always feel like I overlook her a lot, you know. But anyway, they need to be disassociated because eventually they need to be able to have
more matches.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, which didn't hurt the men's tag team champions when it was happening. But like, I want them to make an effort with the women's tag team champions, but I also want to see women's tag teams come up and challenge for them. Like, and as fun as the Iconics are, and as many problems as they had in the ring, and were called up way too early, at least they were a fucking tag team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, what you're getting into, though, is the argument that has always been, women or men, for tag teams in WWE. Like, why? What, you know, we have unlimited access to performers.
Right.
We have near unlimited. We have an overabundance of time, TV time to fill. Why aren't we dedicating a division where we only have legit tag teams? That, like, their full-time job is being a tag team and having good tag team matches, and it's going to be different, and they're going to be different, and it'll be a different offering on the show, rather than just always falling back on. And I think we've tried that somewhat, like they've tried that somewhat recently, and we ended up with the fucking Street Profits, so it's a wash in my book, but that's always been like what you're saying. I feel like has always been a conversation, has always been a critique, a complaint, whatever of the WWE program. Is like, why don't we have unlimited resources? Why don't we have a good tag team division? Yeah. And the answer is, well, because Vince McMahon doesn't give a shit about tag teams. And that's the answer with the women's is like, well, yeah, we'd like to see these women tag teams come up, and
we made these belts for Bayley and Sasha.
Right.
Okay.
And then burned them on them immediately.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah. All right, to the first match on the card.
For the
World Heavyweight Motherfucking Championship.
Booyah!
Well, they have two of those, so never mind.
Nope, they have a World and a Universal.
Oh.
Get your head out of your ass, go.
Sorry. Drew McIntyre, it's not even a World, it's a WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre defeated Goldberg. Hey.
Yeah.
So that cold open came into, like, they cut from the pre-show.
Okay.
Onto the camera fixed on Goldberg's dressing room door, right?
Yep.
With the Goldberg sign.
Right.
And I was like, I did this.
Did you get juiced?
I did, dude. I was like, yes. I was like, and then like after, I don't know, 5 seconds, I was like, oh.
You came to your senses?
I don't give a fuck about Goldberg. You know, like. Yeah. But I was like, this entrance is so cool. And then he comes out. When they start the show, they do their open. Yep. They had a great video package, by the way, about Goldberg, right? So that gave you doubts about what Drew was going to be able to do, okay?
So I had doubts about what Drew was going to be able to do because I've watched wrestling before.
Yes. But also, like, gave you doubts about... Or picked you up about what Goldberg could do to Drew.
Yes.
Because, Drew's the guy right now.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, wait a second. This motherfucker, 20 years ago was the most unstoppable wrestling force we've ever seen.
Did you notice they showed him spear Bret Hart at least 3 times?
Yeah.
I laughed about that every time. I almost went and followed Bret Hart on Twitter, except I know better.
Is he on Twitter? How bad would that be? Fuck. Man, I like Bret Hart, but every time I see him anymore, like any kind of interview or anything, I'm like, oh.
For sure.
I wish you just didn't do interviews anymore. Anyway.
All right. So
they did
you're 100% sold out on Goldberg.
A great video package.
Yep.
Where you bought into, man, Drew's the underdog here. Like, they sold it perfectly.
Yep.
Okay? And that's what WWE's best at.
Yes.
Those video packages
Yes.
where they can do that, it's like, hey, Drew, you're
Yeah.
awesome. This dude who's 54 fucking years old, which we didn't point out, look at what he tore apart
Right.
20 years ago. Okay. So we got the Goldberg entrance.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
He gets in the ring. Drew comes out. He puts the sword in the stone, like King Arthur and Braveheart, or King Arthur and then
King Arthur took it out of the stone.
he's coming out like Braveheart. Ah, Halliburton, you know. And
Yes.
that's what he always screamed, right, before battle.
Halliburton? Yeah, I think so.
Halliburton! Anyway.
Anyway.
Drew comes out, looks like $1 million, gets in the ring. They face off. The bell doesn't ring. Two baby faces. Drew headbutts the shit out of Goldberg, right?
Yep.
And then they spill outside. Big bump through the barricade. And we eventually work back into the ring, and the match starts.
Yeah.
We are 1 minute and, 20, 30 seconds into this meeting of these two at this point. We trade.
Well, there's also all that time because Goldberg spears him through the barricade, and then Goldberg gets back in the ring, and then they really had Drew sell like, "Oh, my ribs are hurt."
Well, yeah.
And so there's all that time where nothing is happening with the biggest, baddest, toughest in the company struggling to walk back into the ring.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you get speared through a barricade. See how you end
I'm sure if I showed up at a Raw, it would happen because it happens 3 or 4 times on every Raw. The odds are in my favor on this one,
It
bro.
only happened one time this night.
Oh, that's fair.
That's not fair because it happened later.
So do you have more to add about this match? Because
I'm just gonna recap it, and I shouldn't do that, but
it's fine.
This match is, this is the fare that we've been getting.
Right? Why
this entire last year?
That's my thing. Why has this become like the match? You know what I mean? Like every time,
because of Brock Lesnar.
So they're just trying to have the Lesnar match? Is that? This is the Lesnar match? Because so here, hold on though. But is that though? That's this. So number one, this is the match that Lesnar had with Goldberg.
This is the match that Lesnar's had for the last 2 years, dude.
That's not true. Think back to I
don't mean that the time frame. It's just been finish, high spot. Just kill a guy. That's it.
Yeah, but think back but you're selling it short compared to this, okay? Because think back to his matches with Rollins and Daniel Bryan and AJ,
yeah.
And those matches worked so much better. And not because, and I mean, they were still high spot heavy, but he would come in hot and heavy, he'd demolish them, and then when they turned it around, all of a sudden, you were like, oh,
yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
There was method to it. I am so reluctant, even as a Lesnar defender, I am so reluctant to give Lesnar credit for having any kind of psychology method, anything going on, you know what I mean? And he was working with these great guys that were,
but Lesnar knew who to work with. Number one, number two, him and Paul Heyman worked on his style.
Okay,
what he was going to do for matches.
Okay,
this is a Paul Heyman match at this point in time.
Okay,
it really is because you got these guys coming back that are limited. And you want them to be an attraction, whatever.
Right.
So you want them to do certain things. You want them to do a jackhammer and a spear, in Goldberg's case, and that's it.
Right.
What else are you looking for? Nothing.
It's fair.
So these matches are built that way.
Okay.
I firmly believe this.
Okay.
And I've heard that Paul Heyman has a lot to do with how these matches are built and how they're booked and all that stuff. And I'm sure that Lesnar was probably the architect of this style. But that is what this is. It is a definite, we're going to put this guy over, okay, but let's beat him with my finishes from 20 years ago. And when he kicks out, I'll be like, holy shit. That's how we're putting him over. And it seems to me like it's lazy, you know?
That's for sure. That seems that like, and that's the thing. So what I would compare, and so maybe we're now at the symptoms of laziness and guys putting it together without understanding what's happening. Because if you go back and watch, Lesnar's match with Daniel Bryan, I would never call that lazy.
No.
Okay.
Not at all. I wouldn't call one of I would call maybe 3 of Lesnar's matches lazy since he came back.
Right.
Like honestly,
and that's what I'm saying. Like there's this. I mean, but this match, the matches we got at Mania last year, the 2 heavyweight matches that were Goldberg and Strowman and Drew and
Lesnar. Yeah.
I mean those were literally like, we'll do 5 of my finishes. I'll do 5 of your. You do 5 of your finishes. I'll do 5 of my finishes.
It was this match,
and then I'll go. Yeah, and that's my point. It was this match.
Yeah.
These guys did 5 spears and 5 Claymore kicks and 1 jackhammer and then 1 more Claymore kick and then that was it.
And when we watched it, it was a. This was a Mania match, or we said at that time like these guys didn't want to fucking be there,
right?
Because there's no crowd there.
Yep.
Like okay.
So that's where we're at.
Drew's earned this.
Yeah.
Strowman's
okay.
Roman Reigns at this point. But,
yep.
What the fact.
So how about let me divert down this.
Do it.
Why are we letting fucking Paul Heyman book matches? Or like why is he the new, like what is he, like he is not Pat Patterson. Why do we have a Paul Heyman match now?
We just said why. Because those Lesnar matches. We just gave the answer.
God damn it.
I
don't like it. I don't like it, John.
If he was that influential on those, then why wouldn't you just let him do all of these? Because, honestly, those were gold. Like, those matches are talked about now. Like, we remember those now. If nothing else, from those entire years of the entire shows.
All right. So that's okay. So how about this? That's just the Paul Heyman thing, right? Paul Heyman attached himself to ECW.
Oh yeah.
And Paul Heyman gets credit for ECW. Never mind.
Paul Heyman did not make ECW though. What ECW was.
But hold on. Just because Paul Heyman was the guy with his hand on the wheel, like to say he made like. Raven, Douglas, Taz, Rob Van Dam, the Dudley Boys. Like, like you're going to tell, like looking back, right? Looking back, Paul Heyman gets credit for ECW when really Paul Heyman should get credit for being like an eye for talent. I mean, let's look back at, the matches that made the Goldberg style or the Lesnar style, the matches that made the Lesnar style that is now the Paul Heyman match. Right, is Lesnar and Triple H and Lesnar and Daniel Bryan, Lesnar and Cena, Lesnar and AJ Styles, Lesnar and fucking Daniel Bryan, Lesnar and Seth Rollins. So like, okay, so yeah, you can suggest a layout to these guys who are true greats and artists with this business, and they're going to carry it. And so now we just like, okay, well here's do the Paul Heyman match, Drew and Goldberg, and this is what we get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so
all right.
How many?
now I get it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, I swear to God, I think that's the case. Like, not to No. In that context, I think that is absolutely what happened.
In that context, I can get it.
Like that is a model.
I don't like it, but I see
that they have now.
Right. I see where it happens. Yes. Yes.
Because you can go out there and you can have Lesnar work the way Lesnar can work.
Right.
Or you can go out there and make Lesnar happy and work a match with Lesnar. You know what I mean?
Do I know what you mean? I'm not sure I know what you mean.
Okay. Well,
I mean, no, I guess I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Sorry, I did.
so you can go try to do your match with Lesnar,
Right.
or you can go out there and do
Lesnar's match.
Lesnar match, and Lesnar's happy.
Well,
and Lesnar's going to put you over like crazy,
right?
Because he understands what makes money, and he understands what's good for business and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to denigrate
No.
Brock Lesnar.
No, yeah. I get what you're saying.
And
ultimately, what you're saying is the true, like the thing that happens in a lot of cases with wrestlers. Some wrestlers end up with their match, and you can either fight them on it and try to have your match, and it's going to suck, or you can adjust to
do their
style.
Great.
Right. Yep.
And I think that's what all those guys did. I really do. And I don't think that's any reason that Lesnar wouldn't have had a great match with those guys, because he would have. I mean, because when push comes to shove, like, he's going to be outstanding.
Well,
you know what I mean?
He's going to show up, and if he shows up, and who did we talk about? Guys who aren't going to come up short.
Right.
Like AJ,
every single one of them.
Yeah, Cena. Well, H might be the one outlier, but
it's not, though.
Cena, AJ, H. Hold on, H has come up short on some shit.
I know, but I'm saying like he's going to get in there with Brock and do the Brock match. He's just going to know how to do it better than Brock and Paul Heyman.
That's not the point I was coming to. Is like, Cena, AJ, Daniels, and regardless how you feel about him, Seth Rollins, like, those guys are not going to underdeliver.
No, ever. Right. There was a lot of time in that one match.
We must have talked 3 times as long as that match was.
Yeah.
Or more. At least minimum. All right, what's next?
That's why they tune in.
What's next? So Drew takes it. It was
Claymore kick. They hug afterwards.
Yep. And I was just glad that Goldberg didn't win.
Me too. Because I had my doubts too.
Well, I kind of assumed they were gonna go to Mania.
I kind of assumed he was going to win. Him and the Fiend were going to go to Mania. So glad that didn't happen.
Anyway, what's next?
Next. What's next?
It was the women's
Sasha
match,
Banks
right?
and Carmella.
I don't have a whole lot to say about
Reginald.
that. I like Sasha. I've always liked Sasha Banks. She's great. I'm always glad to see that Sasha remains like a foundation of that division.
Yeah.
I know she's had her ins and outs and kind of some ups and downs where she needed to take some time or whatever. Excuse me. But I'm always glad to see that she remains like a staple of that business.
Yeah.
The business.
Yeah, the business and that roster.
I didn't know Carmella had that in her.
No, I didn't either.
Is that the best match Carmella has ever had?
I can't say that definitively, because she had like a feud where after she won Money in the Bank, where it was and SmackDown Women's Champion with Becky Lynch and Charlotte. So I'm sure she had great matches there, but like,
well, hold on. Did she have great matches, or was she involved in great matches?
Involved in great matches a lot. But she was for sure next level. Like she leveled up.
Carmella leveled up. Yes,
next
for sure.
level for Carmella.
Yeah. Yep.
She improved a lot, and she looked. She was threatening a few times.
Hey, listen straight up. I watched some SmackDowns leading up to this. We had to talk.
Reginald.
Well, hold on. We had to talk on this podcast where I was like, I haven't watched wrestling in like 6 months at all, except what we do here. And I was like, okay, so by the time we do this review, I will have watched some. I'll watch some leading up to Mania, and leading up to Rumble. And I did watch some, but I watched I watched everything the first week. I watched the first week I watched Raw and NXT and SmackDown, and then the next week I watched most of Raw and some of NXT, and then I started SmackDown, and I was like, I hate this. why am I making myself? I hate this. Why am I making myself watch this? And I watched a little bit, and like I saw Carmella do some promos and stuff, and I was like, is Carmella really still a fucking thing? Like Carmella is still here? What? Come on. We've had Becky, we got Charlotte, and Asuka, and fucking 100 other girls I could name, and Carmella is still here doing things.
And they're still going with her, and like
and like that was my attitude seeing that, and so like that was my attitude going into this match was like I can't believe Carmella is still a thing, and coming out I'm kind of like, okay, I'm ready to give Carmella another chance.
I understand why Carmella is still a thing.
Yeah. Yep.
So those promos have been great.
Well, I don't understand why she's still a thing because I saw her early career. But
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Ready to give her another chance.
Yeah. That goes back to the thing we were talking about earlier with the types and the whole thing. But
all right.
she has worked her ass off.
Okay.
And you can see it, And, man, I don't think Sasha Banks has too many bad matches for her belt. And she out of all those women who kind of pioneered this thing, I think she's my least favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But she does not have bad matches, dude. Like she's good. She's great. And
Carmella?
No, Sasha.
Sasha. Okay, I'm sorry. I like you were like she's great. I'm like you were like she doesn't have bad matches. I'm like
I was saying out of the
But
women,
you're right. Sasha is great.
Out of those women that she came up with, she's probably my least favorite. And I think they're all great.
Yeah. Yes.
And I think she has great matches. I mean, almost every time.
Right.
Yeah. And I think she's awesome. She's not the one I'm most excited
invested
about,
in for sure. I would say she's up there with me. I mean, I got real behind Becky, but now that Becky's gone, I've been a big Bayley fan. Mm-hmm. But I think I think it's probably like Bayley and Sasha high for me. Like of those, I know you're all in on Charlotte, and I'm not all out on Charlotte, but I prefer them to Charlotte. I prefer them to most of the girl. Some of the ones coming up like Alexa Bliss is high on my list. Shayna Baszler was my favorite all last year. You know what I mean? Like Shayna Baszler was not my favorite wrestler for a lot of 2019. Yeah. Ripley and Toni Storm for sure, but I don't know, man. It's tough. I'd have to really spend some time and really do some research and watch some matches to break down like where my rankings fall. But Sasha and Bayley are right up there.
Yeah. All right.
Carmella's not.
So Sasha won.
Sasha wins.
She retains.
Yep.
Reginald's out there, who's Carmella's manservant or whatever.
Carmella's Virgil.
It seems racist, even though I know it's racist. Anyway, so but it didn't. She didn't bury Carmella. It seems like Carmella could be back, right? Mm-hmm. So that's going to span something for Sasha to do between now and Mania.
Yeah.
Okay. It was a good match, and Carmella, I thought she killed herself at one point, doing a dive, which, my God, the dives. Anyway.
Well, there's 5 in every match now, so.
Yeah. All right, we can go forward.
All right.
But it was a good match.
It was a good match. Very good. I was impressed with them both.
Yeah. Good job, ladies.
Yep.
All right. Women's Royal Rumble's next. Here we go.
First year they did the Women's Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
It was like that first Women's Royal Rumble,
which was only like 3 years ago. This was the fourth one, wasn't it?
I couldn't tell you.
I think this is the fourth. Yeah, this is the fourth one.
Okay, so that first, but that first Women's Royal Rumble might be in my top 2.
Yeah?
Not top 2, top 5, sorry. Okay. Might be in my top 5.
Yeah.
It might be in my top 5. It's definitely in my top 10.
Yeah.
That was a great Rumble. Like that Rumble was engaging and booked well and exciting, and there were surprises and there were twists and turns, and like that was a well booked Rumble.
Yeah.
I feel like since that, they have just been Rumbles.
They have until this year.
Okay. So I'll let you say some things because I have a thought that is going to sound is going to need some unpacking.
Okay.
But I want to hear what you think of
Why don't you do that? So this Rumble,
Yep.
this women's Rumble
Okay.
had returns
Yes.
that were meaningful returns because they were women who, well, Victoria was a woman who made an impact.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
That was a pun. But also, Victoria was a women's champion.
Yep.
And she lasted a long time. And she did some cool shit in this match. And Mickie James, like, I know it wasn't a return, but it was a return because she had a moment.
Yeah.
Like, and this is a big deal because we had Bianca Belair at number 3, right?
Yep.
And that's where she came out last year. And Bianca had a long run last year and a big moment last year. But last year when you watched it, you didn't think, oh, well, Bianca Belair could win this shit.
True.
Until you got to like 24,
True.
right?
Yes.
25. Maybe? Okay. Maybe?
I don't even know then. Maybe.
Maybe? But Bianca Belair came in at 3, and she lasted the whole fucking thing. This Rumble felt more like a traditional Rumble to me. Or I don't even think I need to say, should say traditional Rumbles. I want to say the Rumbles I favorably think of,
Okay.
right? Where
All
they
right.
make a guy or
Okay.
make a girl. This is their moment. Drew McIntyre last year.
Okay.
There's countless others, right?
Okay.
This is their Rumble, and then we got to what? I don't even remember the count. 24, 25, 22. Rhea Ripley comes out. I was like, oh yeah, never mind. Bianca Belair is not winning this shit.
All right.
She's winning this shit because we haven't seen her on NXT. Mm-hmm. She's been gone.
Right.
And I was like, who else are you going to put right into it? And it was obvious. It's Bianca Belair. And she went on and won it. We had a couple returns. We had the Victoria return, which was awesome. We had Jillian Michaels, which, okay. Do we have any other returns? Mickie James had a great moment.
Tori Wilson.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Right, Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Yep.
I
forgot about that.
I feel like there's one. There was one other that.
One we're forgetting.
Yeah. But let's not spend too much time trying to think on it.
Yeah, so they did the whole match, and Bianca was out there the whole time, pretty much, right? Because you didn't want to take away from Edge going 1 to 30, and
Right.
that whole deal. But that was kind of the point with her.
Yeah.
It was her show.
Yeah. Yep.
And she's going to go on to WrestleMania, and she's going to challenge Sasha or Asuka, whichever
Who do you think?
one.
Who do you think?
I would think Asuka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the show she's on?
I don't know.
Me either.
I honestly don't know. I think she's on SmackDown.
Which would be.
Wait, or which shows the Street Profits on?
I think they're on Raw.
I think they're on SmackDown.
Did they just?
now.
Did they? Are they on
I think
SmackDown
they
now?
traded. Yeah.
Fuck, who knows?
Well, her husband's in the Street Profits.
Yeah.
They're
Yes.
on the
No.
same
Yes.
show.
I get that. I get that.
I think she's on SmackDown now.
Okay.
So her challenging Sasha Banks, cool. Her challenging
Asuka.
Charlotte, Asuka, any of them, I'm down with, dude. I'm all in on Bianca Belair.
All right.
I am way more all in on Rhea Ripley
Okay.
because Rhea Ripley is going to be the next Charlotte, in my opinion.
Yep.
But, yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me address that first.
Okay.
And then I have something for us to kind of unpack a little bit. And hopefully it won't go real long.
It
But
probably will.
I'm sure it will, because can we go short? All right. Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
I don't like her.
I know.
She is not my jam. She is probably better than I give her credit for being because I don't enjoy watching her. I mean, she's athletic, she's charismatic, she's whatever. I think she is missing something. I think this is too soon for her to go in for a Mania shot.
I would definitely not argue with that.
I think giving it to her here, it just it devalues the women's Rumble championship. Like it makes it clearly mid-card status. Yeah. Whereas like what 2 years ago, the women titles main evented Mania.
Yes.
Right? And now Bianca Belair wins the Rumble to go and challenge whichever girl. Right? Yeah. Whichever girl has the shit. Yeah. So I'm slightly interested in, Bianca Belair versus Sasha. Like those are kind of two sides of the same coin. They both got that kind of, Sasha's the boss and Bianca's the EST. They both have that kind of hip hop attitude. I'm interested in that dynamic. Bianca Belair against Asuka is complete opposite, to call them opposites seems weird, but like they're so different. There's a clash.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Right.
From a 20 years of experience in the business, from a wrestling trainer perspective, I think Bianca and Sasha have a much better chance of having a better match than Bianca and Asuka. I don't think Bianca would know what to do with Asuka in all the wrong ways. Like there are good ways of I don't know what to do with this person, and I think Bianca would not know what to do with Asuka in all the wrong ways. I think that match is doomed. Really? Now we've got 2 months, whatever, to get to. Yeah. May not even be Asuka and Sasha by the time we get there.
Right.
But I don't mind. We used to always kind of fantasize about like, man, what would happen if a real dark horse won the men's Rumble? Like, what would happen if Billy Gunn won it out of nowhere some year? Mm-hmm. Would that make him a huge star? You know what I mean? That's kind of what I feel we get to see with Bianca winning the women's Rumble. And she's probably not comparable, like in the women's division, to call her like the Billy Gunn is probably pretty comparable. Like the more I think about it, I feel like she's probably in that Billy
the
Billy
comp is the athleticism for sure.
There's the obvious comp in the athleticism, but I mean when you think about all the girls, like she hasn't done. That I've seen, she hasn't done that much to stand up. Like she's only in the conversation with like Sasha, Asuka, Ripley, Charlotte because she won the Rumble. You know what I mean? Like the only reason she's in that conversation.
She had a
now,
big Rumble year last year, and she got called up to the main roster. And this is the defense I'm going to make right here, because this is the big deal. She is so much better in WWE matches than she was in NXT matches.
Okay. Which I haven't seen a ton.
I know that there is. It seems like that's a weird line to draw in the sand, but like there's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Right? So she has shined, in my opinion, doing the WWE TV matches.
Okay.
In NXT, I thought she was great. I thought she had something, but I also thought she needed to be there another year.
Yeah.
But also, when she was called up, I was like, oh, apparently she doesn't. Because she took to that immediately, right?
Okay. Yeah.
She took right onto it.
Which happens sometimes.
Yes, it does.
Which happens sometimes.
And that's fine.
But let me present it this way though. Winning the Royal Rumble is now a catapult for Bianca Belair, whereas 99.9% of the men who have won the Rumble, it's not a straight. You know what I mean? Like it's not like they are knocking on that door. They are knocking on that glass ceiling before they win it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like when you like
even Drew.
Okay. Even Drew. You know what I mean? Like it was like we did not expect Drew to come out and eliminate Brock Lesnar with a fucking Claymore.
So
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Drew, like when Drew came into that Rumble, like coming into that Rumble, Drew had a string of matches where we're like, that's the guy. Oh, I mean, I compared Drew to
a string of matches.
Yes,
like it was a
yes.
year.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've compared Drew. I've compared Drew's 2019 to like Austin's 96 and Daniel Bryan's
2015.
Yes,
I
think so. You know but that year where somebody shows up on a different level than everybody else every week,
right.
And you can't like they're making themselves a star,
right?
Where they're like, guess what? This is mine now, and I am going to be the guy.
Well, and here's the obvious thing that's going to happen with this.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be given that opportunity,
right?
Does she take it?
Yeah,
because Drew did, Daniel Bryan did.
Yep.
Fucking Austin certainly did. You know,
well,
she's going to be able to seize that opportunity.
Well, how about this?
Because I think she's capable.
So, and I think on paper, I think she's probably capable. Setting aside my personal opinion of it, right? But here's the question about that, right? Mm-hmm. Because now, so those guys, and it's the reverse, right? And probably why I can't think of any guys who have gone this route necessarily, but. Normally, they have that year first, and they spend a year making themselves a star, absolutely. And then they win the Rumble.
Yes.
And now we've had a year where Bianca probably had a pretty good year, and she's won the Rumble. Now she has to spend a year making herself a star.
Yes. Now that's
but that also carries that extra expectation.
I feel like that's the women's challenge though, because Asuka did it.
Okay.
Like Asuka came from NXT.
Yes.
And won the Royal Rumble, went on the undefeated streak, went to Mania with Charlotte. Right? So that was the first winner, outlier. And they've only had fucking,
it's also
at this point.
Also tough to me. That's also tough for me because I was already a fan of Asuka. Like I was an NXT fan of Asuka. Yes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I totally understand that. I'm just saying.
But you're right. I also think you're right.
That blueprint is there.
Yes.
They can. This is the road you have to follow. Mm-hmm. You have to be. Well, that's a hard thing to put on anybody, but
for sure
you have to go be Asuka for a year.
For sure. Yeah.
But.
Yeah. No, I'm with it, man. I'm with you.
That is absolutely like if you're gonna go with an unknown, quote unquote, which she's been on television for 6 months or whatever. If you're gonna go with an unknown. You go with an unknown.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's what makes fucking the Royal Rumble awesome. Because you have that opportunity, in my opinion.
Yes.
Like, you can
the feel of that. Because they've never, ever done it.
No, honestly, no, you're right, though.
Right.
Okay.
So we finally get that with a woman, with the Women's Rumble now.
I'm saying this now, like, the last 2 years, I didn't think Drew was going to win. He came in at 15. He eliminated the fucking monster, and we were all bought into Drew. Like, Drew's ready.
Yeah.
So in the back of our mind, we're like, he ain't gonna fucking win. Fucking Roman Reigns is gonna win this, or Seth Rollins is gonna win this, right?
Yes.
Those guys came out and he fucking tossed them.
Yes.
Right. Awesome.
Yep.
So that's the kind of moment you need.
Right.
Where and Roman, early on Roman Reigns had the same kind of deal where it's like Roman ain't gonna win this or whomever,
right?
And then he did, and it's like, and then he won fucking 18 more Rumbles,
whatever.
Yeah, more than anybody ever, probably. Right? But
the sad thing. Well, so let me unpack that a second because that was the sad thing about Reigns was. Remember the year he almost won it was against Batista, and they turned on Batista. The crowd turned on Batista
because Daniel Bryan didn't come out.
Right. So in that moment, it was like
Yeah.
Fuck Batista, give us Reigns.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if he was either fresh off the Shield or he was still part of the Shield. Were they the Shield? Okay. So like he had that Shield.
I don't even think they had 3 months in.
Yeah.
Like they had debuted in October.
All right. Well, but by the time we came back around, like the very next year, they're like, well, people are going to go nuts when we give it to Reigns this year. Yeah. Remember last year? But by then, he was the enemy.
Yeah,
and they got to the end of that, and they booed him so bad they had to turn off the sound.
Right.
So like they turned off the crowd mics. Yep. Anyway,
Bianca
I'm gonna guess what, Jonesy?
What?
You haven't made me a fan.
Okay.
But
not my job.
No, not your job at all. But like now I'm very interested in Bianca's year.
Yeah.
And I wasn't before. Like I'm not a Bianca fan, but now like now that we've talked it out, I'm very interested to see what she does this year. If she's had a good year, whatever. But now she's got the chance to become a thing or not. And
here's the deal.
I'm going to be watching her with a lot more interest than I was before.
Here's what's difficult though. we have implicit biases.
Right.
And we're going to see Charlotte matches, we're going to see Rhea Ripley matches, Bayley matches, and we're going to be like, no, she's not this good. She is not that good yet. But they're trying to make her a star.
Right.
And I feel like, honestly, she is capable of becoming that star.
Well, so here's the thing. I think I'm good at watching. I think I have an ability to watch objectively.
Yeah.
And my goal is not to judge if she's as good as Becky, Charlotte, whoever.
Right, yeah.
But I want to see if she's able to step up and make herself a star, or if she just is that girl who won a Rumble one year.
Right. Yeah. Which we haven't had one of those.
Right.
And we've
only had 4.
We've had plenty of guys who've done that. That guy won a Rumble?
Hey, for real, dude. Every time I remember that Shinsuke won a Rumble, I'm like, no, he didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he didn't. When? What Rumble?
And he got fucking killed by AJ at a Mania.
Yeah, what? Yeah, that's my thing. What Mania did he main event? None of them. Right. All right. So now we got to unpack something. Oh, we toasting? What are we toasting?
Yeah, let's unpack some shit.
Okay.
Now, I just wanted to toast. Because, toast.
Toast!
I like toast. Obviously.
Okay. So, you brought it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
There were a bunch of returns in this Rumble.
Yeah.
Several.
2 or 3.
Several returns. Like you lumped in. I felt like there were several returns where I was like, oh shit, like I know, I think Mickey's been around, but
she has.
But like when she came out, I was like, holy shit, Mickey's here. You know what I mean? Like, but so here's the thing.
I want to figure out all the returns.
Some of these girls, some of these women, who were kind of like surprises and arrived in the Rumble and are probably like should be considered legit legends and helped make the women's division what it is and helped legitimize the women's wrestling, right? Mm-hmm. And I just kind of barely cared that they were there. Whereas, like, let's just say, for argument's sake, okay, Christian, who comes out in the men's Rumble, spoiler alert. I got who. Okay, so how about this? I feel like Mickey and
Victoria
did
Jillian Michaels.
Nope. Mickey and Victoria did way more for women's wrestling than Christian did for men's.
Well, sure.
But like when Christian came out, I was like, Christian's here.
Yes.
Holy shit.
He can't wrestle anymore. What's he doing?
You're excited. Feel these nipples. Okay.
Exactly.
And when Mickey and Victoria came out, I was like, oh hey, Mickey's still around. Oh hey, look, there's Victoria. That's neat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I felt like that, you know, like Tori Wilson came out and I was like, hey, Tori Wilson is still alive. Cool. And like, but like a few years ago when The Godfather came out, I'm like, Ho Train! You know what I mean? Like, you mentioned Jillian Michaels. Like, Jillian Michaels came out, and I was like, holy shit.
Dude, I didn't remember who she was until somebody in the room I was with said, yeah, she used to sing bad. I was like, oh, yeah, now I remember.
Hey, so, okay, where we were watching it, Jillian Michaels comes out, and somebody went, hey, isn't she the one that the boogeyman bit that mole off her face?
Oh my God.
And like,
Wow.
but like,
Wow.
yeah, wow.
Wow.
But like, I was just like, holy shit, Jillian Michaels is not dead. But then like, when the fucking honky tonky man comes out and he's 1,000 years old and he just comes out and goes, you know, like when I got my long side burns and my hair slicked back, I got to your town in my pink Cadillac. I'm just a honky tonk man.
He's a honky tonk man.
I'm just a honky tonk man.
He's a honky tonk man.
I'm cool. I'm sexy. I'm bad. And
I'm bad.
Whatever.
God damn it, Jared.
Well, sorry, I fucked it up. It's not the accurate singing podcast.
It is now. How many times will we rename this?
Not enough.
I'm drunk with him. Not enough.
So, but you know, okay. So and that's like, so is that because like women's wrestling is not that established? Is that because
Yes.
Like
all
I don't
hear.
have that nostalgia
That's
hit?
all I hear when I hear it. I mean, because like when Trish or Lita come into that Rumble,
Right.
2 years ago, last year, whichever one, like you had that right, like that hit, like oh whoa yeah.
For Trish and Lita, I did.
Right.
They were in the first one.
But how further back? I mean,
I think
if
they've been.
If Alundra Blaze came into one or Medusa, would you be like, yes?
Yeah.
She still looks like $1 million,
Fuck
but
yeah.
like, dude, like that was almost 30 years ago, and to go beyond her, you're talking about 40, 50 years ago, man.
Well, I mean, we had to watch Moolah and Mae Young bumble around Raw for a lot of years, bro.
And they did.
And I was never like, holy shit, it's Moolah and Mae Young.
No. But it's different when it's a Rumble surprise. That's what I think it's cool that they're even doing it for the women. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's
cool that we have legends for them already.
Yes.
Okay.
Not legends, but just
Oh fuck, man!
surprise returns. Yes.
Surprise returns. Okay, surprise returns.
Like if we get Trish and I want Medusa to come out one year. That'd be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And when Beth Phoenix comes out, we hear her every fucking Wednesday. But hey, it's Beth fucking Phoenix.
I hope in 10 years Medusa gives birth to a hand for Keith Lee, and when when all the Zoomers are mad about it, I just get to go.
What are Zoomers?
They're the below millennials.
Are they Zoomers?
Yeah, they're the next line, the next generation.
I hate.
They're not millennials. They're Zoomers now.
Speak. It's the fucking worst. Zoomers.
No, but
You sound ridiculous. You sound like the fucking War of 1812 people did. These kids here. All right, let's go.
All right.
Anyway, what you're saying, though,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. We do not, do not pop for that the way we pop for, oh, it's the fucking Godfather.
Right.
Which is dumb. But you start raising...
Also probably a bad example. Like
No, honestly, it's not.
well, I wanted to point out that I'm not popping for the hoe train. And
Yes.
for, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's not the hoe train. It's just like Godfather didn't do anything as the Godfather.
Right. If he would have come out of, the Supreme Fighting Machine,
right?
Like, yeah,
I'd be like, oh shit, somebody's getting melted into a chain.
And then started punching his friends, and then he wouldn't have any friends anymore.
That is by far not the worst thing I've done to most of my friends.
Anyway,
so
the people who have come up with the women's revolution, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, or evolution.
Evolution.
Whatever. So they...
Evolution is a mystery.
You keep sidetracking me.
Sorry.
God damn.
It's not the concise essay Rasslin podcast.
It's also not the worst Lemmy Motorhead
impersonation.
I've ever heard.
Definitely
Which
not.
You don't have to travel very far to do a good Lemmy impersonation. You just have to smoke 18 cigarettes in a minute and then do it. But,
all right. Finish your thought. I won't distract you this
I
time.
don't remember what it was. So, in several years, right, the youth that has been watching wrestling are going to remember these women, maybe not fondly, but they will remember them as, oh, fuck, I remember Jillian Michaels. They should remember Victoria fondly and Tori Wilson, because they were a big deal in their time, you know? And that's kind of what the Royal Rumble is. Like, we're running out of guys we can remember, which
for
is
sure,
ugly.
for
sucks, you know? Sucks getting old. But we're running out of guys. Like, Hacksaw can't fucking run down there anymore,
no,
you know?
For sure.
We can't get that fucking moment like we reviewed a few weeks ago with Perfect in 02.
Man, yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yep.
I mean, we got that this year with fucking Christian and Edge.
Right.
Like, those guys are older than us. They're the only ones.
Yeah, that's fair.
So the women who come out,
well, at least
surprises are not for us, dude. They're for the generation before us, or
after us.
Yeah,
but are they? I don't know that the generation. I feel like, and I think maybe that's kind of my point. Like, I feel like the generation after us doesn't
care about them because they get to see Charlotte and Becky and Sasha and
So I guess as we're talking about this, what I'm coming to is we're probably 7 years away from having those moments with the women, right? Because the women, you know, like
probably more.
And this is
more time.
It's more. So, okay. So one, hopefully it's more.
Yeah.
Two, like I don't know how this makes me sound, but I think women wrestlers probably don't have the shelf life men do.
Because 2021 they probably do.
Man, I think we're gonna see that they don't, because, and I'm sure this is gonna make me sound super misogynistic, and it's fine, but like, well, we're gonna find out soon probably. But like, going to be a mother, I think that will take something out of the women's division that being a father doesn't take out of the men's division. Okay, and that's purely on bearing a child does not have the same, like, bearing a child has a much more physical price than getting a woman pregnant. You know what I mean?
I think we're going to find it's more progressive than that, because we haven't seen Seth Rollins in 3 months. You know what I'm saying?
But he's back, and we haven't seen Becky yet.
Right. And we shouldn't. Like, she should go be a mom, and that whole deal.
And that's the thing.
Yes, absolutely. And I think you're onto something there. I think you're absolutely right about something there. But because we have these trailblazers,
right,
it's not going to stop there.
For sure.
Rhea Ripley's 23 fucking years old. Hey, you know what I mean?
Well, okay.
Like it's not going to stop with.
I
with
don't.
the
not the division. Not the division.
No, I understand.
But okay. But whereas, like, you know, I mean, what'd we get? 10 years out of Christian? 10 solid years of Christian being Christian?
I mean,
if that?
No, more than that.
More? Did
we?
We
Did the TNA stuff and the whole. I mean,
I'm counting all that. Did we get that much out of it?
Just being a singles wrestler?
Of Christian performing.
Okay. No, yeah, it was more than that. Like 15 years, probably.
But well, okay, well, of Christian being a star. I mean, think about it. When did he come in? Christian came in like the Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys.
They were stars
in '99.
99, okay.
In '99, they had that ladder match.
2012, right?
Okay.
So that is a little more than 10 years.
Okay, so a little more than 10 years.
Not much.
Okay,
yeah, you're right.
So if we say if we say that's a baseline, I feel like Christian's a good baseline for guys, right? For a guy who had a middling career.
I don't feel like Christian's a baseline. I feel like Christian's too young to be that baseline.
That's just because he's your age.
Fuck you.
Well, I mean,
he's 50-something.
Who else?
He's 48
well,
years
hold
old.
on. But I mean, think about it. Austin's career.
You're talking about guys with neck injuries.
Okay.
Let's talk about.
Listen, but okay.
I almost said 3 guys who are dead. So.
Okay. All right. I
How
think
old's Booker T?
I don't know, but what was okay? So you're gonna put Booker T. You think Booker T is a baseline for?
No. Here's my point.
Booker T wrestled for 77 years. Booker T.
He whipped Joe Louis's ass. He did whip Joe Louis's ass. Booker T could have been in the Rumble this year and looked like fucking $1 million, which is what I thought I was gonna get because Bad Bunny sucks. We'll get there, but like, if they stay Booker T shaped, I don't know. Never mind. My bad.
If
he should be the baseline, not guys who had neck injuries.
But
we didn't think we're ever going to wrestle again.
But should be and is, I think, is different.
Should be and is.
I mean Booker T. Yeah, Booker T should be the baseline.
Yeah.
But is he the baseline? I think Christian's way closer to the baseline. I mean, honestly, how many guys?
Well, I mean, Edge. Okay, so Christian's not Edge.
Right.
You can't just come right back and be in a main event deal.
Right. Also, Christian lasted longer than Edge. Edge had his neck injury.
Both those guys were fucking retired because their necks were broken.
Okay, but and so I feel like any of the women wrestlers are taking the same risks, especially now. Same risk, same physicality, right? Mm-hmm. And now, okay, so there's a different mentality between men and women, and even if you let a woman go and be a mother, and when she comes back from being a mother and she gets back in great shape and she's able to do it again, all of a sudden she's got this little clip in the back of her mind that's like, you know what? If I get hurt, I can't take care of my child. And I'm saying it's different for men.
Have that voice too, but
they should, and I'm sure some do.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure some do, and some, you know
absolutely.
what I mean. And I'm sure there are some women that won't. You know what I mean. And we'll see. You know, and hopefully the women who don't have that and hurt their neck, and you know what I mean, like, and hopefully they come back as well as Edge, or don't. You know, they come back to life the way Edge has, whatever, right?
Right.
But like. I personally know more women who are more cautious after childbirth versus the men I know who are don't change their lifestyle after becoming a father.
Understood.
Okay.
But there's plenty of guys who do it also.
Yes.
Just
for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like, and you know firsthand. I mean, like it changes people's lives. Like,
yes.
It's a game changer. Like, anyway.
Anyway.
This
So
is,
coming back to the point, right? I think as the women's division grows, we're gonna see a shorter shelf life for women.
Yes.
And so I think in like 7 years, we'll be watching a Rumble and Becky will come back and we'll go, holy shit, Becky Lynch.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think actually we agree. Like, we've been arguing about something we agree on.
Well, we got
so much fun.
We got dropped into like a semantic
I know.
discussion.
We suck. But no, we don't suck.
Okay.
We suck a little bit. But yes, that's absolutely right.
Right.
That was my whole point. Like, they don't have the breadth of history that we have as men's wrestling fans.
Yes.
You know?
Okay, unpacked. Moving on.
All right, what are we doing? How many minutes were we at? Should we do
A lot.
two episodes?
A lot. No. This is
really?
all. This is the season premiere, Jonesy.
Oh, good God Almighty!
The drunk wrestlers are either with us or they're not at this point.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, they're reviewing new shit. Pass. Hard pass. All right, so we're 4 matches in. Okay. Well,
this is how I felt watching the Rumble. Dude, we got to the end, legit, dude.
Because this next
seriously, no. Seriously, we got to the end of the women's Rumble, and I was like, I feel like I've watched the whole damn pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I was like, we still have at least half of a pay-per-view left.
I had to rewatch that shit tonight.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like we have at least a half of a pay-per-view left, and I'm exhausted. I feel like I've watched the whole pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sucked.
What's next?
Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman versus Kevin Owens. Last man standing match for the other world championship.
What do you have to say about it?
I liked a lot of this match.
Okay.
They went backstage and there was like a
workout ring. I've never been less happy with
it pulled me right out of everything.
Immediately, dude. You know what? Like when they fought through that curtain and got back there, I was like, oh look, they're in the backstage area where they have their practice ring set up. And then like almost immediately, I don't remember, Michael Cole or Mauro Ranallo, whoever fucking sucks, Todd Phillips maybe, and they were like, oh, they're back in that area, their backstage area, and there's that workout ring there. I was like, I quit. I don't even checked all the motherfucking way out.
Yeah. So the defense I have for this is they beat the shit out of each other. They
did beat the shit out of each other.
They did beat
every time. Talk about a last standing match with Roman Reigns. Some white man got to bring up Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens was 17 years old when he fought Roman Reigns.
They beat the shit out of each other. And they had some good last man standing spots in this. And then
let's not talk about the botch yet.
Why?
Because I want to bitch about how this match was just
okay.
It was that fucking Roman match. Or not that fucking Heyman match. They started with they started with finishes right away, and then they rolled out of the ring and just kept hitting finishes. Like this
is all Roman's going to do from now on. I hate to tell you that, but
this was a last man standing match there was no story, there was no nothing. It was just like
beat the shit out of Kevin Owens.
Yep,
the whole time.
Yep,
absolutely.
When he got hit by that go-kart, that was fucking dope. I'm marked. They were in real danger of sucking me into the match, but then they real quick went back to the nonsense.
When we made ourselves watch the AEW fucking Stadium Stampede match?
Yes.
And they hit Sammy
Guevara
that golf cart and went,
yeah, dude. Well, it was so different.
Fucking Kevin Owens dove through that thing and made sure Roman felt it. Roman got that driving that shit.
For real.
I'm so fucking happy. I was
yes.
like, yay.
There's also such a difference because when Sammy Guevara got hit by that go-kart, right? We saw the go-kart. We saw it coming. We saw Sammy Guevara see the go-kart and, run away from it. And the go-kart is just a go-kart or a golf cart, right?
Yeah.
And so we see, it's top speed.
I don't even remember who's.
And we watch it. We watch it coming for, a minute and a half. And then when it hits him, he it gets his leg and he kind of sells off to the side.
Yeah. He bumped off of it,
right? We didn't see it coming. We didn't see it it entered the scene. And less than a second, it entered the scene and hit Kevin Owens, and even if he flew up and went through the fucking busted that plastic right into Roman's face.
No,
and
Roman right in the face.
And even if it hadn't done that, just the fact that it was a surprise, Kevin Owens was selling, and all of a sudden, holy shit, go-kart.
Yeah,
and
just went.
The reaction is
right through it.
The reaction and the feeling is different.
Yes.
But also,
it looked realer.
Yeah, and I was all in for the 30 seconds that it took them to move on to the next spot.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Tons of bumps off of shit, and we're in a fucking empty state. It's a fucking baseball stadium.
Yep.
That's where they're at.
Yep.
We're in an empty baseball stadium. There's bumps off of all kinds of shit.
Yep.
I mean, 3 or 4 of them. And after a while, it's okay.
Still, guys.
We're gonna top that last one,
right?
And also, when you ran that motherfucker over with a golf cart, which I know it's a golf cart, but
yeah,
that was played for a big deal.
Yeah, it mattered, and it felt like it mattered because they shot it properly. All right, let's talk about the botch. Or you got something else?
Well, here's the one thing I want to say.
Okay.
In defense of Kevin Owens. I am not a Kevin Owens guy.
Okay.
Not my guy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in this feud with Roman,
yep,
he has lived up to his potential, lived up to what a foil needs to be for Kevin Owens. But getting beat this many times is where Kevin Owens should have been. That's what I want to say.
I feel so. I think we're probably going to say this. We're saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
We are interpreting and feeling about it different ways. For me, I feel like this is showing that he will never be able to step up to the next level. Right? This is level best for Kevin Owens. This is you can't be in this business for as long as Kevin Owens without being able to perform at a certain level and understanding certain things about the business. And Kevin Owens understands those things and performs at that level. And this is where Kevin Owens is at. And probably, as much as I hate him and do not enjoy watching anything he's involved in, matches, storylines, promos, anything, I think that he could probably settle into a nice role, gatekeeper role. You know what I mean?
So backhanded, I love it.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. He can set up as that. You go through Kevin Owens to get to Reigns or McIntyre, who the fuck ever, right? He can set up in that spot and he can deliver in that spot because he has been he can't help but be in that spot,
right?
Just from the mechanics of how long he's been and who he's worked with and whatever else.
He is the gatekeeper now.
Yes,
because he's the only one who's brought Reigns to this point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and also he's benefited from this because Owens has been pushed as the main eventer,
right?
And he is in that scene.
God, doesn't that make you sick? It makes me.
It doesn't make me sick.
I hate
it. Doesn't
that.
make me sick. I don't hate Kevin Owens. I dislike a lot of things about Kevin Owens. The way Kevin Owens talks, the way he emotes, the way he gets into the audience, I think he's really good at that. Man, when he works, I'm like...
See, I'm the opposite. I'm the opposite. When he works, I'm like, man, if he could emote and cut promos, and if I bought him as a real human being, I might be into Kevin Owens. But like I think his work is acceptable, and
I don't think it's exceptional.
acceptable. Acceptable.
No, I know.
Okay, all right.
I said I don't think it's exceptional. I think it's better than acceptable. I think Kevin Owens is a. I think he can be in the main event. I don't think I'm ever going to be into Kevin Owens. Ever.
How about?
I really don't.
How about this?
Yes.
Work wise,
Yeah.
I think Kevin Owens is Triple H. Triple H when Triple H is good when he's with somebody who is standard. Triple H is great when he's with somebody who is great. Triple H has the potential to be phenomenal.
Yes.
Now, I think Kevin Owens is good when he's with somebody's good. I think he's great when he's with somebody great. And I think he has the potential to be great on his own. But I don't buy into anything he says. I don't buy into his mannerisms. I don't buy into his look. I don't buy into, like, he's just, like, he is a charismatic less Dusty Rhodes. Like, he is that everyman to the point that, like, he really is the everyman.
Yeah.
Like, Dusty Rhodes was the everyman.
We're not getting Dusty Rhodes again.
Well, I don't think we will, but like Dusty Rhodes was the everyman, but he was fat and he was, baby, his booty might be a little big, his belly might be a little big, baby.
Pumpkin head,
right, right. You know what I mean? Yeah. And Kevin Owens is just like, oh, like I actually know 3 or 4 Kevin Owenses, like he's every man.
It's not a larger than life everyman. It's I know this guy. Yeah.
Triple H had on top of his look, on top of his talent, Triple H had the look and he had performance and he had been part of D-Generation X and he had to fucking keep up with Stone Cold and The Rock and Mick Foley and like obviously he's going to show up on a different level than Kevin Owens.
Yes.
But, if Kevin Owens
But the point you're making is still sound. Kevin Owens, when he's in there with Rollins, when he's in there with Reigns, they had a great Mania match, him and Rollins. They had that match, aside from the silly shit, which we're going to get to, was excellent. And he's had like 2 or 3 excellent matches with Reigns, right? Putting over what Reigns is becoming, right? So Reigns is going to be their Lesnar, and they don't have to fucking pay Lesnar, to be that Lesnar, right?
Yes,
that's what we're doing here. I understand that.
I bet you know what, and to clarify,
and they will bring back Lesnar in a minute, a millisecond.
Well, the thing I was going to clarify is that I bet Reigns makes as much as Lesnar. Not now, not eventually. I bet they want to pay. I bet they want to pay Reigns what Lesnar made, but have Reigns show up every week.
Well, yeah.
What they paid Lesnar for.
We need you to be on Fox every fucking Friday.
For seven fucking appearances a year. Yeah. Like if they can get,
I don't think they pay him anywhere near what they paid.
I don't think they do right now. Yeah. I think they will more than happily pay that to him.
Oh, okay. Eventually. If he shows up on Fox every Friday.
Right.
I got you.
Right.
Okay. It's the last man standing match.
Those always suck.
We get to the end. Paul Heyman cannot figure out how to work a handcuff key. Like for a minute and a half.
Dude. That ref had to stop counting.
2 minutes?
They had the spot. They had the spot to bump one ref. Like he got to 9 and Roman grabbed him and
just killed him.
Yes, eat shit in this
no DQ,
camera.
Cool.
Fine. But then that other ref comes out and that other ref gets to 6 and then he just stops and they cut away from him.
Yes. Because Paul can't work a handcuff key. Fuck.
So do you have thoughts on this before I launch it?
Dude, I don't.
Okay, so all right.
Like when I was watching it, I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
I have thoughts.
So much shit went on in that match, And it was 30 fucking minutes long.
Mm-hmm. Longer, 40. I remember specifically, it was, because I remember specifically right about 8, they were coming out for that match. And I was like, God, I don't give a shit about this match. And I remember at 8, after it was 8:42, 8:43, I was like, is this match still, like, why isn't this match over yet?
Yeah.
That match was over 40 minutes long. Wow. Now, okay, here's my thoughts. Number 1. That was a cool finish for a last man standing match.
Yes,
why wasn't it the finish? Why didn't Reigns and Heyman handcuff Lesnar, or not handcuff Lesnar, handcuff fucking Kevin Owens down,
because he wouldn't stop getting up,
and that's why they that's how he won that match.
Right.
That would have been a much better finish, much more dramatic. And Kevin Owens gets to lay there fucking losing his shit and bitching with his arm and trying to pull his arm loose, and he can't pull his arm loose, and he's trying to get up, but he can't get his up, and they just count him out, right? That's the end,
yes.
you know? They did that with Batista and Cena. Cena duct taped his legs to the fucking, and that was those are great finishes.
And then
the problem,
okay.
Yes. All you guys who are not wrestlers, the problem with last man standing matches is they feel like the natural end for real intense feuds, right? So like there's always this feel like, well, let's build to a last man standing match. From a wrestler, worker, inside baseball, whatever you want to call it, standpoint, it is so hard to figure out an exciting end to a last man standing match. So when you can do so when you can do anything like that, especially if it's not the good guy, especially if it's not the face,
right? They went over a ball field, right?
When
they
the heel,
in a baseball stadium,
yes, you know, there when the good guy needs to win. There is some whether it's exciting or not, there is some catharsis in that final boom smackdown, and that dude is out. That bad guy that you have hated for so long is out for 10 seconds, and fuck him. There is some catharsis there. When you need the heel, when you need the bad guy to win, it is so hard to come up with something unless he is just the monster of monsters. Yeah. Now, and that's so why wouldn't, you know, now moving on. I said my piece. Well, no, I mean I said my piece about Kevin Owens needing to have won that. Though. Kevin, like
you were killing it.
I mean, well, I think I've made my point. Kevin Owens, but like to have handcuffed Kevin Owens, like that is the way to finish that. If Reigns can stand there and laugh, and you will hate him for laughing because he found the loophole instead, because he couldn't knock out Kevin Owens, but he found the loophole.
So it made Kevin Owens, not the heel.
Right. Well, it would have made them both.
Well, I understand.
You would have had more.
I totally agree with you.
Yes.
I'm just saying, like it didn't make Reigns at all.
This finish
it made Kevin Owens.
Yes, the botch. Aside from the botch. This finish did not help either one of them. Okay, like because you handcuff Roman Reigns, and it's like, oh shit, he's Roman Reigns is stuck. Well, his partner he hit Kevin Owens in the balls, and then his manager.
8 hours.
Well, without the botch, so let's think about this spot without the botch. Okay, without the botch, the way this match goes, Kevin Owens grabs him, chains him up. Oh shit, we're at 9. You know, he can't get up, he can't get loose. We're at 9. Kevin Owens is standing there. He nuts Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens sells off. Oh, my balls hurt. He grabs the ref, pulls the ref into the Reigns, grabs the ref. Pronouns, pal. Reigns grabs the ref, pulls the ref into the lights. Oh, the ref is unconscious. The manager comes running over, unlocks him, and he gets up. Oh, we just barely escaped that. And then he just grabs Kevin Owens and chokes him out. Right? Who does that finish make? Nobody. Paul Heyman. That finish makes Paul Heyman.
I don't know, man. Because you're talking out of the context of the rest of the match. So Roman Reigns is a world beater.
Okay.
He barely got to his fucking feet.
Okay.
Finish of this, right?
All right.
That
So-
wasn't because he was handcuffed.
Okay, so you're saying it puts over that you can't even outthink the world beater.
No, I mean.
Kevin Owens can't put
No,
even without the botch.
Not outthink him. The world beater's tougher than you are, and you're this tough. Right.
So even when you come up with a plan, okay, I'm going to handcuff him to the floor.
Yes,
I
exactly.
can't even outthink him.
Exactly, which is bad.
Okay.
But that's the point of the story.
All right.
It's I can't do anything else
Okay.
because this guy is fucking Roman Reigns. You know.
Okay. In that light, maybe that would have made Roman Reigns, but I don't think Roman Reigns.
We don't need to make Roman Reigns. Like,
Exactly.
We're not making Roman Reigns here. We're making Kevin Owens.
That's what that finish would have done, though.
Well, I understand that, but Kevin Owens kept getting up, and nobody else has done that with Roman Reigns. That's
Yes.
what I'm saying.
But then when you handcuff him and it doesn't matter, you lose that.
Why?
Because then you get choked out. So with that finish still goes.
But we still
He
remember
overcomes-
all the times that Owens got up.
Disagrey.
Really?
Disagree. Like, I mean, yeah, you might, but then he still loses that match, and who does he go to use that against?
Well, Paul Heyman, because he was there for him.
But also, no, because Kevin Owens isn't going to stop feuding Roman Reigns and feud Paul Heyman.
Right, no.
Kevin Owens is going to stop feuding Roman Reigns and go feud
Yes.
Seth Rollins or
that's a booking issue.
yeah.
That's not a
That's my
mismatch
point.
issue.
That's my point. So like that finish without the botch.
Yeah. Okay.
We handcuff Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns overcomes the handcuffs thanks to Paul Heyman. Roman Reigns chokes out, Kevin Owens. And so the fact that Kevin Owens could stand with Roman Reigns and he couldn't put him down, except finally he did put him down. Now
He didn't, though. He didn't put him down?
he choked him out, and then Kevin Owens didn't get up.
Okay, he didn't choke him out until after he nut-shotted him, and it was after the whole, botch spot thing.
But without the botch, if we take that botch out and that spot happens the same way, Roman Reigns was finally able to put Kevin Owens down.
Choke out, though, right?
But he still is able to put Kevin Owens down, which at the very least, it does. I don't think it erases that whole match, but it devalues all the time Kevin Owens gets up. Okay?
In that match.
In the match.
Sure.
Okay, now, if we reverse that storyline, and you've got this finish, you've got the world beater, right? Mm-hmm. And the world beater can't put down Kevin Owens. Mm-hmm. And then the world beater finally has to handcuff Kevin Owens.
Yes.
And Kevin Owens is fully capable
that's
of.
what you meant for
Yes.
Oh.
Kevin Owens is fully capable of standing up, but he can't because Roman Reigns handcuffed him to the floor.
Yeah.
And Roman Reigns wins. Now, not only was Roman Reigns not able to get, like, all those times Kevin Owens got up, he still gets credit for those because Roman Reigns never technically put him down.
Right.
Kevin Owens, so Kevin Owens gets that rub.
Yeah.
But he also,
you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I know
Roman Reigns also gets credit because not only is he a world beater, mm-hmm. but he's smart. If he encounters a world he can't beat, he can outthink that world. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So Kevin Owens gets credit, or Roman Reigns gets credit for that. So both guys come out stronger.
Yeah.
Rather than both guys coming out like I feel like both guys came out weaker. You know what I mean? Like that would have been a much better finish. Now let's weaker, but, maybe not weaker, yeah. but that would have been like that finish would have helped both guys. Yeah. Whereas the finish we had did not. Now let's bitch about the botch because the botch is hysterical. My first thought about the botch is like, okay, if I am Roman Reigns and I'm handcuffed to the floor and my manager can't uncuff the handcuffs, okay, I am on my feet. And he did eventually, but he laid there long enough waiting for Paul Heyman to do his thing that they had to cut away from the ref. That ref got to like 6, and then he had to stop counting, and they just pretended like that didn't happen. Like, had Roman Reigns, the simple solution is had Roman Reigns rolled to his feet right away and got up in that squat, at least he's on his feet. Yeah. And that ref and the match, and nobody looks like a complete idiot.
Right.
But Roman Reigns didn't do that. Roman's just laid there going, I don't know what's. Come on, Paul, what are you doing? Let me lose. Oh, come on, Paul. Hey, you stop counting because I can't get loose. Hold on. Hey, let the back know that we need some help out. Do they have a hacksaw? Because I don't know how to do this. Like, you know what I mean? Like when it was happening, and I know it's easy. Like hindsight is 20/20, and it's easy to watch and whatever else. But like when
been out there,
I've been we've been out there. We've been out. We've been out. We've been in wrestling matches for 20 years, and I'm watching Roman Reigns. I see the problem with Roman Reigns, and like as I'm watching it, I was like, he needs to roll over and he can get into a squat, so he is not
right.
Like so they don't fuck this match up.
Yes.
And also,
said it out loud.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Why hasn't he rolled over?
Right.
Why hasn't he gotten his feet under him?
Get to your feet.
Yeah, do something.
Yeah. That's all you gotta
but
do.
no, he just laid there like a fucking shithead. And I lost, like, as a worker, and I've been a Roman Reigns defender through a lot of his ups and downs and the crowd booing him out of the building and all kinds of stuff. But, like, I lost a lot of respect for Roman Reigns as a worker, watching him just lay there like, oh, come on, Paul, what are you doing? Hey, ref, stop counting, fucking, you know. And also, I lost respect for both of them because after that 6 minutes of handcuff nonsense, fucking Kevin Owens just stumbled over and got choked out. You know, like they couldn't put together.
He was selling a ball shot for 8 minutes.
They couldn't put together anything else.
Right.
Listen, if I sold a ball shot for that long,
we're going for a minute.
Yes. I'm gonna come over. I'm gonna grab him. I'm gonna at least have him give me another. Like when he's getting up, I'm gonna grab him. I'm gonna have him break this hold. Give me a Superman punch. Like something. We're not just gonna stick to the spot.
Right.
Where I stumble in and you choke me out.
Right.
Because I don't know how to think outside the box. And that, motherfuckers, is why you got to learn to work on the fly. God damn it.
God damn it.
Like, we got to work on the fly. We got to call. Like, this is inside wrestling, but that's what I do, motherfuckers. Inside wrestling, calling on the fly. Let's work this match. Let's make sure it makes sense. If, like, botches happen, I don't disrespect them for the botch happening, right?
No.
Like, bullshit happens. But there's so much.
Bullshit's out of their control, too.
There's so much stuff that you're in the locker room or in a production meeting or however you want to do it. Like, you know, the WWE is just fucking indie wrestling on a big scale. Like, nobody wants to admit that, but it's true.
I like that.
Okay? Like,
we still got a shot.
Yeah. I mean, that's not what I'm saying. But, like, the WWE, like, it all comes down to the same stuff. There's still people deciding on the finish. There's still people coming up with creative ideas. There's still people trying to surprise the crowd. There's still people, you know what I mean? Like, It's just indie wrestling expanded exponentially. Yeah. So however you want to phrase it, there are going to be ideas in the creative meetings, in the booking meetings, in the locker room, in my head that are like, man, it would be really cool if you fucking handcuffed me and I almost lost, but then I bumped the ref and my manager unhandcuffs me. Yeah. That when you get out there, it gets fucked up. Like that's just part of the deal.
It happens all the time.
Yes. I've suggested many spots that I was like, it would be so cool if I'm fucking selling here and you grab the chair, and when I sell around, you'll be right there with the chair, and when I get out there, it's like, okay, he's got the chair, I'm down selling here, and I start to sell up, but he went the wrong way, and I sold the opposite way, the way that I should have, and now there's 10 feet between us instead of chair shot length,
Right.
right? But you gotta fill
I'm gonna
that.
submit this. Like, I've
Yeah.
been handcuffed like 3 times.
Okay.
Where shitbags handcuffed me, and I had to just sell it,
Right.
And they're trying to climb a ladder,
Yeah.
or whatever. Like, I have to sell the shit out of this,
Right.
And I can't break away, even though I'm so strong I probably could. But
Oh snap!
it's just, man, it's wrestling.
It's wrestling, and you got to be able to cover for that. And so it sucks. It's so telling for me. It is very telling that these bitches couldn't cover. Fucking Roman Reigns and
Kevin Owens.
Roman. Yeah, thank you. Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens could not cover this 2-minute botch, and it ruined the end of their match.
It did. Which I thought was a pretty good last man standing match.
Should have been.
Yeah. That killed it.
Boom.
It did, dude.
What's next?
Fucking men's Royal Rumble.
Are we
How
at that
many
already?
minutes-
There wasn't a match in between
Already?
there? There wasn't a match in between there?
I don't know.
I don't think there was.
I don't think there was either.
Because I think I remember thinking there should have been.
No.
I think I remember I was like, we still got a women's. Because I was just going, I was like, there's another women's title. There's another men's. Oh, no, we had the men's title. There's
Right.
tag matches. Oh, shit. I got my long sideburns and my hair slicked back. Coming to your town in my pink Cadillac. I'm just a honky-tonk man. Where are you on the fucking chorus, bro?
I was helping you out.
You can't play the guitar and get the backup singers?
No, I can't. I can only do one thing at a time.
All right, well, give us. You got Elias.
I can only carry this fucking podcast.
WWE stands for Walk with Arson.
Jonesy.
WWJ.
You popped yourself.
I did.
All right, man.
What would Jonesy do?
What would Jonesy? Walk with
P?
Jonesy.
No, P. What would Jonesy play? WWJP. What would Jonesy play?
Eat. He didn't say.
WWGG. Walk with Go-Go. I like that one.
Yeah, I do too.
Walk with Go-Go.
All right, guys. I can't play the guitar, and I can judge wrestling even less. That's not true.
No, we judge the fuck out of wrestling.
Yeah, we do. Look at you,
All right.
dude. You've eaten like 18 limes tonight.
Just
With a
one and a
fucking
half.
pocket knife.
Just one and a
Like
half.
man
It's-
shit.
It's an old hickory. It's even
old
more
hickory.
so.
This is
This is a
this
real.
was
This
passed
is like
down from generation to generation, brother.
no, it's like a real iron blade. I have to
What
sharpen.
the fuck is wrong with you?
I have to sharpen it and oil it.
You sharpen it with your tongue?
Yeah, I just did.
Fucking amazing.
All right, Jonesy.
All right, let's go.
Men's Royal Rumble.
Men's Royal Rumble. So,
Edge and Orton out first.
yeah.
What'd you
So
think?
we thought, or I thought, this was the culmination of their feud's gonna end here, right?
Okay.
And they're out first. Let's go. And Edge was ready. We know Orton's ready because he's timeless. And,
All right, hold on. I have a point about this.
okay, do it.
I actually watched Mania. Well, I mean Mania. I've been watching. I've been trying to watch here and there. I talked a little bit about that earlier. I watched the Rumble, and I watched the Monday after Rumble. We don't need to do a full recap of that because it's garbage. But I hope, and I think we've talked about this some, but I hope that Randy is trying to I hope that we are seeing a Randy we've never seen before. We are seeing a Randy who is using all his skills to their full potential.
Yes.
His work is better than anybody else's.
It's unbelievable.
His promos are top shelf. He is doing his storylines almost make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ignore the things
They've
like
never for 10 years.
Yes.
They've not figured this out.
I hope that Randy is making himself like you know what I mean. I mean, Randy's been around 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, whatever he's been around, and his
Almost 20.
his legacy is untapped potential, right?
Yeah.
And he is just now tapping it. And I hope, like I want, like if his last year could be his whole legacy,
Yeah.
I would be fine with that.
Yeah.
Like, and I hope we get 3 more years of Randy at this level that cements that people will remember him as this run of 3-4 years
Yes.
rather than the 15
Preceding, yeah.
where he was, you know.
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Where he
I'm
was the
loyal to
best.
John
He was
Cena.
the best guy who never gave a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Every time.
Right.
Yep.
Right. So like, if hopefully he will deliver at that level for long enough to eclipse everything else he's done, or not even eclipse, but to just shine a different light on everything he's done up to this point. I hope that for Randy, because I am enjoying Randy Orton at such a different level
never been better.
than I ever have.
Never been better. Never anything I've watched.
For sure.
Never.
For sure. All right.
Okay.
Men's Rumble.
Okay. Start out. Edge and Orton. What do you think is going to happen?
They fight, roll out of the ring, and fight everywhere.
Yeah. Beat down on the stage, and they get in the ring eventually, and then more people come out and whatever. So,
Anything jump out at you about the Rumble?
not at this point. Definitely later on, right? So I was definitely looking for that person who could have a Drew McIntyre moment, right?
Okay.
The entire night. Mm-hmm. Because and that hasn't happened often.
Right.
But I thought, you know what? I want the Rumble to be this. I want it to be the kingmaker, right? I
Right.
want it to be the thing that makes the guy.
Okay.
Like we had last year.
Okay.
And it didn't only make Drew, it made Ricochet, which they did great with that. It made Keith Lee, because he was the guy who came out and then Rock went, look at the size of this fucker. You know?
Yep.
That was the whole point of that last year's Rumble. And that last year's Rumble felt magical because we got a new guy, right?
Okay.
So I kind of felt like, let's do that again. Let's make a guy, right?
Okay.
So my guy this year was Antonio Cesaro.
Okay.
Because let's make a guy.
All right.
Let's make a guy who's good.
Yep.
He's already good.
Right.
Let's make a guy who is big and strong. He's the Vince McMahon type of guy, right?
You would think.
Let's make a guy who might be able to talk a little bit, but he can't talk. So let's
Right.
give him a manager. The only manager we got is Paul Heyman. Perfect, right?
Yeah. Could you imagine if we got Paul Heyman with a world champion on SmackDown and a world champion on Raw?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty dope.
My God.
Paul Heyman surely doesn't want to work that much. He's old and super fat. Like, surely he doesn't want to make both tapings.
I don't think he's even
Especially if he's fucking. Listen, he's older than us. He's older than us. He's
Yeah,
fucking
so he's
old.
ancient.
Yeah.
He grew up in Mesopotamia. And, yeah, you're right.
I know.
Between the Tigris and Euphrates
Yes.
rivers.
Yes.
All right. Yep.
All right.
This is not a badass Rumble.
It was not a rumble. It was not a great rumble. It was, and
we had a couple of cool returns. I mean, we're gonna get to the big one. I feel like it's the big one.
I can think of two. I'm sure one is the big one. And Carlito. So Carlito came out kind of early.
Can I think of a different one? Carlito came out with an apple.
Carlito came out early.
And Carlito had also eaten 14 people. That's not.
Hold on, listen.
That's not accurate.
Listen.
Carlito looked like $1 million. That's what I should have said.
Carlito looked improved. You know, I would honestly,
Improved?
No, listen, hear me out. I would almost compare Carlito to that Mr. Perfect return at the 2002. Like he showed, now, not that it led to, you know.
No.
Now hear me out, okay? Hold on.
All right. I'm going to hear you.
Mr. Perfect came out in 2002. And he came out, and we were all like, holy shit, Mr. Perfect's,
baby Jesus.
Mr. Perfect's not dead.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's still in good shape.
Also, he doesn't owe any money to Lloyd's of London anymore.
And he slid in the ring.
Yeah.
And Triple H and Stone Cold respected him enough to give him big spots.
Yep.
Okay? Now, Carlito comes out, and Carlito is not quite as old as Mr. Perfect, and he doesn't quite have the legacy of Mr. Perfect, but we all remember Carlito despite him never being like a world champion, despite him never being in that main event. He's like a great character, and we all remember.
Somehow
I spit in the face.
He was
of
there
people who don't want to be cool.
And cool for 2.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but we remember Carlito. And Carlito comes out, and he's built. So he comes out, and we're like, holy shit.
I feel like Bill's underselling it a little.
Not only is Carlito still alive, but he's been in the gym this whole time.
The entire time.
Yeah.
Not this whole time.
He had a cot. He had a cot in the locker room.
Yeah. He lived on a bench.
Right.
Yeah.
And
great, man.
And had anybody shown him the respect to give him like good spots, and he came in and it was like, holy shit, Carlito. I think we'd be talking on Monday about, hey guys, Carlito's back. Except that he showed up, he was built well, and he got in the ring, and
he lasted 4 or 5 picks.
I mean, well, like how long he lasted?
He got right
but what did he do? What did he do?
Fucking apple, and Shinsuke was right there.
And they 100% handed him that apple on the way out, right?
Yeah,
because he came out.
Like, I don't want this shit.
Yeah, he came out looking like
I was in glow, motherfucker.
I guess I still got this apple, guys.
Yeah.
Like, and then he threw the apple. He didn't even bite the apple.
No.
Like Shinsuke took it like he was gonna bite it.
Shinsuke,
and
mouth guard. Can't
also, hey, also, for the record, that was the moment. So Shinsuke was my pick. I thought Shinsuke was going to win it.
That would have been awesome.
I watched a SmackDown or two where, like, I watched a SmackDown where Shinsuke had like they put him through a gauntlet.
Yeah.
And it was such a Kofi moment, and they were even comparing him to Kofi on the announcing.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, okay, they're finally going to do something with Shinsuke again, and like, okay, Shinsuke will win. Maybe Shinsuke will win the Rumble. So he was my pick. And then the instant Carlito, because Carlito comes out and like Shinsuke takes the apple, and then Carlito takes the apple back, and he kind of throws it in Shinsuke's face, and Shinsuke gets all flustered, and then he like backstabbers Shinsuke. I was like, Shinsuke's not winning this Rumble. Like that's where I knew. I was like, oh, my pick is I need a new pick, guys. Yeah. Hold on, Shinsuke's out.
You gotta pick a different one.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. What was the other big return besides the big return?
I can't think of another one besides the big one.
So, okay.
Hurricane.
Yes. That's what I meant.
Okay. All right. So you're thinking of Hurricane.
So Hurricane came out.
Hey, he
didn't do shit.
He was for sure trying to get paid.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, what if I come out and I'll try to, which is funny because in 2000, so I just compared Carlito to Mr. Perfect in 2002. Well, Hurricanes 2002, when he came out and he was going to choke slam Triple H and Stone Cold, and then they were just like, who the fuck is this guy? And then threw them out together.
Yeah.
Like, that's the same spot he did here because he slides in and, Hurricane's back. And he's going to choke slam Big E and he's going to choke slam Bobby Lashley. But then they gorilla press him together and lawn dart him out of the ring, right? Yeah. He Hurricane was for sure trying to get paid, right? He's like, you guys chuck the fuck out of me. Yeah. I'll do my best to break every bone. I'll do my best to break every bone in this body, and you guys can pay me for the rest of my life to sit at home and tweet bullshit.
He does tweet a lot.
He didn't die.
Oh.
I don't think.
All right. So.
All right.
Big returns. Okay, wait. Actually, we cannot gloss over this.
Okay.
The only Rumble moment that happened in this Rumble was for your favorite.
He's my guy.
Damian Priest. There was no other Rumble moment in this Rumble.
I've decided I'm just going to be a body guy from now on. So Damian Priest.
And a voice guy? It's way down here.
Hey, for sure, dude. Damian Priest got a voice like no other. Hey, they for sure gave Damian Priest his moment, like, well, even his entrance was like bigger than everybody else's.
It was big.
Also his bullshit white gear. Fuck that.
What's wrong with the white gear?
I don't know. It felt okay.
I can't wait to get into this.
When you wear black, everybody wears black. Okay? So when you wear black, you're just wearing black. When you wear white, it's like you're trying so fucking hard. Okay? It's like you're trying too hard.
That's where that's at now?
To me.
I always thought
when a guy shows up and he's like, look at I'm all in white. Look at me. I'm just like, dude, you're trying too hard.
Okay, wait. Here's the counter. Everyone else who's ever shown up at a show and had black and red, how hard did you laugh at them?
But black and red is different than just black. Yes.
But it's not different than white.
Listen. Black and red and black and blue are the most fucking indie wrestler.
Where's white at?
Like every other. Hold on.
Okay.
Every other Damian Priest that I've met hundreds of them on the indie scene.
Which is the best?
Every other Damian Priest that I've ever met wears black and red. And
of course. And
at least 5 other people on any of those given indie shows are wearing black and red. You can't wear black and red. The red breaks it. Black and blue, same difference. Usually it's like a I don't know, a Stephen Bishop or maybe a Karrion Kross or a Derek Cross who is wearing the black and blue. Okay?
Yeah.
But there's at least 5 other guys wearing black and blue. So indie shows are all guys in black and blue or black and red. So if you wear black or black and gray or like a charcoal gray, that's fine. Because I mean, black and gray, like there's got to be a line somewhere. Like you put black on black, it's cool. Like black is just cool.
Yeah.
But then there is always one, like when a guy shows up in all white, like you just know, like it's his first main event, or maybe he's winning the title that night, or maybe it's like, you know, his first like he's going over in.
He's eliminating Kane that night.
Maybe he's eliminating Kane that night. It's just like you show up in white. It's like you're trying too hard.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I see you. You know what? There's a lot of other colors than white that you could have gone with.
Like gray.
Man, gray, pink, green, fucking navy blue. There's so many fucking color schemes you can go with that aren't fucking white or black and red. Like, fucking get your shit together. So, like, in NXT, Damian Priest had, like, grays and blacks. And, like, I hated Damian Priest, but, like, at least, like, he had a good look. Okay? He always had a good look. But when he came out in the white and for the Rumble and, like, apparently he's getting called up and, oh, he gets this moment with Kane and, like, I'm just like, bro, you're in all white. You look like a tool. You look like you just look like a dude who was like, this is my night. I'm getting all white gear. I ordered all white stuff. You think my all white stuff is cool? Hey, Vince, how do I look in all white? Do I look like a good guy? Do I look like your next star in my all white?
I would have said yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. And I fully accept, fully admit how, like, fucking nitpicky and petty I'm being about this. But, like, I can't help how I feel. And that's just
Definitely
how I
not.
fucking feel, man. Like, you show up in all white, you're a fucking mark for yourself.
I love it. I love this. I don't even remember where we're at now.
Royal Rumble.
I know.
Damian Priest. Damian Priest eliminates Kane. Boom. Big moment. The only big moment in the Rumble.
Yes,
How about that?
Absolutely.
The only thing
and he kind of botched.
Oh, he definitely botched. They went for that choke.
Deal.
He went for that choke slam, and he was supposed to, like, spin around and land on his feet, except he fell right on his ass because he's an uncoordinated goof, and he kind of sucks. And Kane, how tired did Kane look?
Worn out.
Dude, he looked.
I mean, it's hard being
Every
mayor,
time,
though.
dude, when I saw Kane.
It sucks being mayor.
Hey, do you remember?
Especially in 2021.
Do you remember? Did you see Into the Spider-Verse?
No, I have not yet.
There's this moment into the Spider-Verse where fucking Green Lantern smacks a Spider-Man. It's like the experience.
Wait, this is an animated film, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like an experience.
Green Lanterns there?
No, Green Goblin. Sorry.
Oh,
Green
okay.
Goblin. Green Goblin. Fuck me.
I was like, I want to watch it even more now.
Like Green Goblin, like there's an experienced Spider-Man. Green Goblin smacks the shit out of him, and he lands, and he kind of looks at the camera, and he's like, "I am so tired." Like I just felt that about Kane the whole time he was out there. Like I felt like Kane.
What am I doing here?
Yeah, like every time Kane came down like the monster Kane, and I felt like every time he grabbed somebody for the choke slam, he just looked at the camera and was like, "I am so tired," and then he choke slammed the dude. Like that's it. And then he grabs Damian Priest, and Damian Priest is supposed to slip out, land on his feet, except he slips out, falls on his ass, and then he gets up and like pushes Kane over the top rope, and it's completely anticlimactic, and it does not make Damian
honestly,
Priest.
that's the only star-making moment of the whole deal. It really is.
I would say.
All right. So we get to the end of the Rumble. There's all these guys in there that you think can win, and also Sheamus.
And almost AJ Styles.
He could have won.
Almost. He almost could have won.
I forgot about
He almost got eliminated a bunch of times.
Yeah, he did. Almost called him.
He almost got pushed out of the ring several times.
No, he did not. He was caught almost.
Big E almost won, except that AJ Styles' bodyguard pulled him out.
After Big E
Rey
almost.
Mysterio almost won, except he got picked up off the apron and thrown onto the ring by AJ Styles' bodyguard.
Thrown to TV camera or TV screens, cameras. Those are the other things.
All right, take us to the big one.
What? I don't even know what you're talking about. All right, we're getting to the finish of the match. Right? We have 4 guys in there that we think can win, and Matt Riddle. and also Braun Strowman. So we have
More than that. Hold on. You're skipping over the big return, Christian.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
Hey.
Thought already.
Hey. I mean, we talked about it.
To be big about that.
We glimpsed it, like we teased it when we were talking about the Women's Rumble. Christian coming back was the shit. And
He
even
looked great.
Even he looked great.
Man.
And even though like the moment was not, even though the moment was not booked at all, like you still got the goosebumps.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
like had that moment, you know, like I thought when it happened, had that moment been like, you know, like maybe we stack up a couple heels in there. They all kind of turn on Edge.
Right.
And it looks like Edge is like, we put Edge right on the ropes, like he's about to get thrown out.
Right.
And then all of a sudden fucking Christian's music hit.
Yeah.
Dude, that
would have been the fucking shit.
Listen.
They'd done that.
Listen, there's been one time in my life where I've come out of my seat for something. And it was a Fast and the Furious movie.
God damn it.
And it was when at the end of Fast and Furious
18.
I think 6.
17.
I think 6 when Jason Statham showed up for the first time.
It was Fast 5, I think.
I think it was 6.
It might have been 6.
I think it was 6. I jumped out of my seat. And I was like, yes! The Fast movies were missing one thing, and there he is. And listen, last year, when Edge came out, I got super juiced.
Dude, I did too.
But
I've never been that excited about a Rumble.
I didn't come out of my seat. And I have always been more of an Edge guy.
Was it always oh, okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was going to say, I've always been more of an Edge guy than a Christian guy. But had they built that moment and Christian's music hit, I think I'd have come out of my seat for it.
Yeah.
Had Edge been on the Edge been on the edge, hanging over, and you've got like AJ and there's a handful of heels that could have been in there about to throw him out, and fucking Almas, could be up there with his fucking Cthulhu hands trying to pull him out of the ring, and like Christian's music hits.
Yeah.
And everybody, and then you give me all that moment where all the heels are like, "Oh shit!"
What?
And Christian comes out, he gets his moment on the stage, and then he hits the ring and starts clearing, and Edge fires up, and they fucking dump a bunch of dudes together. I'd have fucking been on my jumping up and down. Like, holy shit, this is the greatest. This is why I watch wrestling, guys.
Right.
I don't care that there's no crowd. I don't care that Drew McIntyre got sick. I don't care that you guys have been running massively staffed shows all through this quarantine, regardless. Like, I wouldn't have cared about any of that. I've been like, 2020 was worth it for this moment in 2021. Like here we are. But instead, they just like randomly towards the end of the match, here comes Christian, and it was still awesome.
Yes.
But it was only just cool to see Christian come back.
Yeah.
With Edge in the ring, and they kind of, he kind of got a little.
They had like 30 seconds to get
right. Like guys fed him.
Yeah.
And they had that one moment where they were like, "Hey, you're Edge, and I'm Christian, and Matt Riddle's marking out for us, and we're gonna go ahead and hug." And even though Matt Riddle is in our shot, like, you know what I mean? Like fuck.
That was a big thing I saw this year, right? So all those funny moments where it ended up with one guy choke slamming the other guy, right? Theoretically, were more pronounced than they ever were, right?
What do you mean?
Like, so every time we've seen a reunion, right?
Oh, okay.
In a Rumble match, like,
right?
Other than
Daniel
Bryan and Kane.
Well, we saw Daniel Bryan and Kane
immediately. It's we know what we're fighting for.
Right.
Like, it's not like a, yeah, nope. You know,
Right.
that type of thing. It's a, fuck you.
Yeah. What you're talking about is, like, earlier in this Rumble, we saw Kane and Daniel Bryan. Mm-hmm. And Kane came in and he bumped a bunch of dudes, but then he turned around and he was like, holy shit, Daniel Bryan. Which Kane and Daniel Bryan,
best buddies. Yeah.
When they did that tag team, that's where Yes originated.
Yes.
And
yes and no.
Yes and no.
No!
Yeah. And so that's where Kane is like, holy shit, Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan is like, holy shit, Kane. And they come in and hug. And then as soon as they hug, Kane is like, nope, choke slam, little bitch, right? Yeah. And so we didn't, like, you're saying we've gotten a lot of moments like that.
Yes,
where it's like...
But later on in the match, like, I know Edge has been in there for, 25 minutes. Whatever.
Plus.
Yeah. 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
And so Christian comes out, and also, like, the prospect of Christian coming out, you're like, what? Awesome.
Yeah.
And they get in there. Did we already do this?
No, keep going.
Okay. They get in there together, and Christian and Edge is like, well, fuck. Nobody's going to beat these guys because this is the best tag team of the 20s, 2000s, whatever. Not the 2020s.
I mean, I would argue that, but go ahead.
They won a lot of championships.
I love Edge and Christian. They won a lot of championships. I don't think they were a better tag team than the Dudleys.
I don't think there were too many tag teams ever that were better than Dudleys.
Is my point.
Right. Yeah. So
to be fair, the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, and the Dudleys, I don't think there are a lot of tag teams all time that are better than those three.
Oh.
For me, the Dudleys sit on top of that pile.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's my only point. Now, there are not a ton better than Edge and Christian. They're not, you know what I mean. So, like, I don't want to argue that point. Like, I didn't mean to disagree. Right, I just wanted that one caveat.
Yeah, absolutely. I get it.
Because it's the Drunk Wrestling Podcast and we're hammered.
We are not, but I can't watch this without yelling about shit. So.
Okay.
Anyway.
So
we're almost done.
Bringing it together.
We are.
Christian comes out, got that feel-good moment, but it's not quite as feel-good as it should have been because nobody booked it.
It was awesome, though.
It was great.
It was so cool.
But they just, it feels like I feel like that's a lot of what can encapsulate the WWE era right now is like they just go for what's easy. Hey, Christian's back. That'll be enough. If they said, hey, Christian's back, what if we made it this moment? You know what I mean? Like you could do so much. Like what
do we have here?
Right. Exactly. How can we make it Christian's back, that's going to be awesome. How can we make it amazing?
Also,
we've got this.
That's how you book a show, though, right?
Right. And that's what I'm saying. It seems like everything is like that right now. Hey, what if Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns use handcuffs and Roman Reigns almost gets counted out because he's handcuffed? If you give that spot 10 seconds of extra thought, you realize how reversing that role makes it better for everybody. You know what I mean? If you take 10 seconds of extra thought on how do we make Christian's return more than just Christian coming back, it makes it an amazing moment that goes down in history. You know what I mean? Rather than just like, well, Christian's back. Well, here's some handcuffs. Well, fucking...
I got you. So, Christian coming in, eliminating Edge is a bigger deal.
No, Christian coming in and saving Edge is a bigger deal. if we get like listen, had they put Seth Rollins and because Seth Rollins comes out 29 and affects that match not at all.
No.
AJ Styles comes.
He sits outside.
Right.
For the whole finish.
Right. Yeah. AJ Styles comes out with Almas and pulls out Big E. I mean, he almost has a big moment, except that his bodyguard pulls out Big E and Rey Mysterio.
Catches him like this.
Right. But then he almost gets outsmarted by fucking Braun Strowman. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, like, let's.
He did get outsmarted by.
I guess he did. He almost won, except Braun Strowman outsmarted him.
Right. Which is, he has to get up pretty early in the morning to outsmart Braun Strowman.
So, like, let's send. What if we send Braun Strowman out and fucking Almas can be out there with AJ Styles and Seth Rollins and whoever. And what if we, so we stack up some heels and they are about to eliminate Edge. And then when Christian, and that's when Christian comes out. So, Edge is hanging over the ropes, and he's got Seth Rollins and AJ Styles.
Damian Priest is holding his foot up for him.
Right. Some dudes are shoving him over, and he's barely hanging onto the ropes, and he's about to lose the Royal Rumble. Yes. And then, I don't even know, I wish I knew Christian's.
I hear voices.
That's Randy Orton. No. That's Randy Orton. We can do.
I did this right, though.
Christian! At last. No, he had different entrance music at the Rumble, and I recognize, I can't sing his music, but I recognized it right away. You know what I mean? Absolutely. So that music can play, and Christian comes out, and all the heels go, "Holy shit, Christian is here!" But it's a moment, right? Because now he's coming to save Edge instead of just showing up at a moment, a kind of a down moment, and here comes Christian. You know what I mean? So, to turn it into a moment where, it impacts the Rumble and it saves Edge. Right. And, not only did Christian show up and save Edge, but then Edge went on to win the Rumble, when he was about to be eliminated by 4 or 5 heels or whatever. All of a sudden it's this amazing, memorable moment rather than just Christian is back.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I got nothing more to add to that.
All right. So Edge wins.
He's going to WrestleMania.
He's going to Mania. How do you feel about that?
5,700 years old.
And he's in better. He's in as good a shape as a lot of guys, and he's a better worker than a lot of guys. Yeah. Better worker, better promo, better
for all the. Part-time wrestlers that we've had that have done this,
it kind of feels like I almost feel like it's
I like this a lot.
Like the opposite. I mean, I'm excited for Edge to go to the main event of Mania.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would almost compare it to kind of like the opposite of when Slaughter went to Mania. With Hogan, Slaughter showed up way past his prime, but still doing his thing, and had he took the belt off a Warrior and he carried the belt into Mania to drop it to Hogan. This almost feels like kind of the opposite of that. Edge has come back, he's won the Rumble, he's past his prime, he's probably too old to be doing this. Air quotes.
Nobody knew that Slaughter was past his prime then.
For sure. We have an idea that Edge is past his prime only because there's. But think about it. When did Slaughter?
Neck. I mean.
Edge took 10 years off, right?
Yeah.
Edge was gone for a decade.
But Edge was. What
was Slaughter? I mean,
I don't know. I cannot argue that at all.
And
Edge
and that's my point.
8 or 9 when that happened. 37, somewhere in there. So he's our age now.
Right. Edge is our age, a little older. Slaughter was older than that. Like Slaughter and Hogan were older than we are now when they were doing their thing, I think.
No.
I bet.
No.
We're going to look that up.
We should.
We're going to look that up.
Because we're old as fuck, dude.
Well, we're 40. I feel like Slaughter had
Hogan was not 40 yet at that point.
Hogan was probably our age. I feel like Slaughter had to be in his 50s then.
That might be right. Like, I'm not going to argue about that.
But I also, regardless,
Yeah.
I feel like Slaughter had to have been 10 years out of the business at that point.
Just coming back for a deal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I worked MSG with Pat Patterson. And yeah. Yeah.
right.
I like that.
Maybe we should do our homework, except this isn't the
Homework drunk
is
podcast.
Yeah, this isn't the fucking
No.
This isn't the facts.
God almighty.
This isn't the facts wrestling podcast. This is the
guys
drunk
listen to
wrestling podcast.
This podcast for us to yell at each other and be drunk. How long is this fucking episode?
It's not 3 hours yet.
I love this. We do the best shit in the world.
I agree. I love it.
I love it too, man.
All right, Jonesy.
I hate that it's ending.
What? Tonight?
Yeah.
Well, Well, unfortunately, Jonesy, a podcast cannot go on forever.
Why?
Because that'd be we'd have to do it live, and then we wouldn't be able to leave.
We
Or
would have jobs.
well, I mean, I assume.
I don't want to have a job.
I mean, I'd be fine if this was the job. Although, like I said, I still think like my goal for the podcast is not for us to get paid for it, but for us to be able to book legends.
Yes.
To come and do it with us.
Good God Almighty!
Like I really.
I forgot how happy I was about that.
Yeah.
Kevin Nash.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Listening.
Whoever.
I want to hug you.
Right? Like I want to book Kevin Nash to come watch wrestling with us and get drunk for 4 hours. And then that's 4 months of programming. I want to book
drink.
all of them. Oh, fucking listen. Listen, bullshit.
You're not their dads.
I'm not their dads, and I've been on indie shows. So I know most of them are still fucking
Greg
drinking.
Valentine. Let's hang out.
Yeah, fucking Greg Valentine or fucking Virgil or fucking
Not Virgil.
Sheiky. I don't know if we can afford enough cocaine for Sheiky to come,
Sheiky wins.
but you know that's what I want to do. Like I want the Drunk Wrestling Podcast to be able to afford special guests.
Now we've already told everybody. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. But we're not there yet. Jonesy.
What?
Mania previews.
Monday.
Guesses.
So Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair. Who do you think she's going to wrestle?
She's gonna wrestle Asuka.
Okay.
And she's gonna whip that ass.
I think she's going to wrestle Sasha. And I think she's probably going to win. I think Bianca Belair will be a women's champion at the end of Mania. Yeah. I think she'll wrestle Sasha.
Who's Edge gonna wrestle? Don't know.
I think Roman Reigns.
I do too. I think any regular year,
right?
Regular year, he would have wrestled Drew.
Okay.
I think this year he's going to wrestle Roman.
So okay, well, so
whip that ass.
So here's my. I agree with you. When he won, I really like the night of the Rumble. Mm-hmm. I really wanted him to wrestle Drew. And I gotta say, like, I had this moment, like, and I realized I keep forgetting that I am interested in what Roman Reigns is doing now. Like, he was just Roman Reigns for so long, and now he's doing the head of the table thing. I think the head of the table Roman Reigns, the heel Roman Reigns that he's doing now with Paul Heyman and Edge, I think that will be like money programming, because all those guys can do promos.
Yeah.
And like that program will
Every
be
single one of them.
will be great.
Yeah.
Leading into Mania.
Yeah.
But like I kept forgetting, because even when Edge won, I was like, I don't want to see Edge versus Reigns. Like Edge versus
I do.
McIntyre was like, yeah, I'm in on that. You know what I mean? But
More
like,
on that. And
yeah, but
Reigns.
yeah, but that's because I was just thinking of like the Reigns that had been for so long.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of that not quite a face, not quite a heel. This is my yard now, Reigns. Like, fuck that Reigns.
Yeah.
And I was always a defender of that Reigns, but I didn't want to watch Edge wrestle that Reigns.
The way they've built Reigns this past
I think,
half year.
Yeah, I think there's some real potential for storyline there. That just, you know, with Heyman and Edge, like
Christian.
Heyman.
Christian's in the floor.
Well, Christian can be, well, even with or without Christian. Like, Christian can jump in there. He can get squashed by Reigns a couple times, whatever. That'd be great.
I just think
like, I look at the promos, man.
Yeah.
Like with Paul Heyman cutting promos, and Paul Heyman is cutting some of the best promos in the history of the business these days. And Edge always delivers on promos. And Reigns' promos are so, like, the head of the table thing, I'm so into that right now. You know what I mean? Like,
he doesn't need Heyman to cut his promos for him
right,
at this point.
Right.
He really doesn't.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm into that.
Which I don't want to talk anybody out of, because please,
yes,
Paul Heyman, keep cutting promos.
For sure.
But, like,
for sure.
man,
For sure.
Roman's cutting some fucking gold out of there.
So who do you think McIntyre faces at Mania?
I have no idea for McIntyre.
All right, so I did watch Raw.
Okay.
Sheamus turns on McIntyre on Raw.
That's
Spoiler
the
alert.
Mania deal. I like it. I mean, Sheamus.
I mean,
great.
I feel like
they're good friends. I mean, they're gonna have a good match.
I feel like they'll give us a brawl with them.
Yeah.
But I feel like Sheamus is gonna have to earn his title shot in a Hell in the Cell to go to Mania.
In the Elimination Chamber.
That's what I meant. Not a Hell in the Cell. Elimination Chamber.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So like, I feel like, because Sheamus has been back and he's been doing that, like, oh, Drew is my best friend thing. But like, he hasn't really like, is he your best friend? Like he might be your best friend, but you haven't really beaten anybody. You haven't done anything like to send you just straight to Mania, unless they have a comeback. Like maybe Drew, like there's the possibility that Sheamus will defend the title against him at Elimination Chamber, and then the next Monday Lesnar will come back, or who the fuck ever, right? And we'll have Drew and Lesnar. Like, I could see, like,
so
either way.
I'd
But
be all in on both of those.
so
Like
right.
If it's gonna be Sheamus and we build them the right way, like, I want to see those two fight. You know, I'm down with that.
Right. And I guess that's kind of where my thought process is like, you know, Sheamus, Drew, Lesnar, Drew, at this point. And I don't have a reason.
Lesnar Drew is going to be a fucking Claymore.
It's going to be the same.
Suplex,
It's going to be the same match we got last year,
Exactly.
but with fans.
Yeah.
and
And not even a stadium full of them, like 20,000 of them.
right.
Which
There's a lot of people, but
It's a
sure.
ton of people.
For sure.
But, like, you know.
For sure.
It's not, you know, a mania crowd.
For sure. I get what you're saying. And I'm with you.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Do you think Lesnar will be back?
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
What else is he going to do?
Nothing. See, but
he's made enough money.
But I think nothing.
That motherfucker's made enough money that he could just go do nothing and
right, and that's what I think.
Yeah.
You know, I've always gotten that feeling from Lesnar, like, you know, like Goldberg. I feel like there will. I mean, obviously there will be a last time we see Goldberg, but I feel like there will never be a last time we see Goldberg. And I feel like I've always felt like eventually there will be a last time we see Lesnar. And I almost feel like maybe last year's Mania was the last time we see Lesnar, because we've had a full year. He got to go sit at home. Maybe he runs I know he runs a farm or whatever. You know, like he's got that, and I know he's got tons of money. You know what I mean? So, like, I feel like there's a really good chance we might never see Brock Lesnar again.
Could be, man.
Until, I mean, maybe one day they'll put him in the Hall of Fame, but, like, in a match for him to show up and be like, hey, I'm Brock
Hall of
Lesnar.
Fame here, like, Brock will still probably be game.
I mean, I'm sure he'll show up and look better than half the guys on the roster.
Yeah.
But, like, to show up and have a match or...
Man, I never thought the day would come. Like, after he came back, I thought Brock's going to do this every year until he can't. Which is going to be when he's fucking 72.
Yeah.
You know,
See, I always looked at Brock as a guy with an expiration date.
Really?
Yeah, always.
Not me, man.
Yep.
Like
since he came back, like the first time.
Last 4 years, like 4 or 5 years, I was like, he'll never age. Like he will never be done. He will never be not capable of doing this.
But so like Lesnar's whole thing was that, like, he got sick of doing, you know what I mean? Like, and he's talked about it. He didn't like being on the road. He didn't like doing that.
He hates traveling.
Yes, and I think even the minuscule amount of like, well, I'll just fly to this town and be there for one night and go home.
He still has a private jet. He still owns it.
Right, but I think and that says to me that he doesn't actually want to travel. Not like he's found a level of right? So, like, eventually he's going to, one day, to me, like, I always looked at him as, like, one day he's going to have a show, and he's going to go home, and then he's never going to leave again.
Yeah, well, that wouldn't surprise me either, honestly.
So I don't think we'll see Lesnar back. I think there may be a chance for Lesnar to come back. Because so he can do his final match in front of people.
I think it's gonna be
I think that's
Rumble or next year's Mania. When we have crowds.
So I don't disagree with you. I think there is a chance he will come back this year, wrestle in front of 20,000 people, and call it a day. I think there is probably a good chance, if he doesn't, that we will see him next year at Rumble and Mania, and when crowds are back to normal, and then we'll never see him again. Yes, I agree with what you're saying there.
Yeah.
But man, I don't know. Like beyond that, I think like short of those two things, I think we've seen all we're gonna see of Lesnar. I think he's ready to go home and be married to Sable until she's who knows, maybe she's happy where she's at. You know, I think Lesnar's happy where he's at is my point. Like, I think he'd be fine going home and half-ass running a half-ass dairy farm for the rest of his life, because that's what he grew up doing. You know what I mean? And he'll just be happy there.
Yeah. And is a millionaire.
And is a super multimillionaire.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, yeah.
All right, so you think Belair and Asuka?
I think so.
Who's Charlotte then? Who for Charlotte?
I fucking.
I mean,
I
not
hope it's Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley and Charlotte. No
Rhea-
belt on the line.
No, Rhea's
Okay.
got to have a Mania match.
Okay. Well, I mean, for sure, but
Because she's not going back to NXT.
right. So Rhea and Charlotte just like for Mania Pride.
Yeah, let's fight.
Who for Sasha?
Sasha.
For the SmackDown
I think Bayley.
Women's Champion.
I think-
Bayley? Sasha
yeah,
and Bayley?
yeah, I think
okay.
so. I think
All right. I don't
Can't beat that.
I can't think of a. I mean, like the argument there is that we've seen that match a bunch.
Well, yeah, we have, but it's never not been good.
True. And we haven't seen it on Mania, right?
No, we have not.
So like, let them do
Especially
it.
with
Let
Bayley being the Karen.
let them. Oh man. Let them do it on a Mania.
Yeah.
Cement that in history, and then we're done with them
Yep.
together. We're done with them
Yeah.
against
well,
each
they can
other
go marry
ish.
Other people. It's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
The men's shit's harder to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So okay, if Edge goes Reigns, I guess we've talked about that. What other matches do you think? Who Rollins didn't come back to not be on Mania. Who do you think Rollins wrestles?
It's probably McIntyre, man.
Rollins and McIntyre.
Yeah.
So Edge and Reigns, Rollins and McIntyre. I guess you're probably right. You know what hurts me about that?
What?
It seems like the most obvious, least creative thing.
Yeah.
And that hurts both matches.
No,
so
that's why I went to it.
Rollins McIntyre, great match. Reigns Edge, probably a great match, right? But like just to do Reigns Edge and Rollins McIntyre,
Yeah.
like that's just like the most laziest, obvious booking.
I don't
Let's
feel
just
like-
do these matches will be great, and these guys will show up. Let's just do that.
Here's the thing. Like, I don't feel like if you're gonna throw Edge into a face-face match, you're
Okay.
gonna do it with the guy you're trying to make. Like, you're trying to make Drew McIntyre the guy, right?
Okay.
And you could bring back Rollins and be the heel.
Okay.
And I mean, also you could bring back Rollins and be the babyface to fucking Reigns' dominant heel.
Right. Obviously.
But why bend those lines? Because you're not going to make Edge the fucking Edge heel that he was.
Right.
I don't think you are, because he's been gone for so long, right?
Well, it's almost like, like I feel like if you're talking about to work with McIntyre, right? It's almost like if
Or either or, honestly.
well, Reigns is the heel. He doesn't have to be a heel to
Right.
wrestle Reigns. He only has to be a heel maybe to wrestle McIntyre. Edge.
Yes, but also it's detrimental for him to be a heel and wrestle Reigns.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
But like I could almost see them doing that thing, the Hogan Michaels thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember where Hogan was like, "Oh, I want the best Shawn Michaels," and Michaels was like, "Well, I'm gonna be heel for this 6 weeks
And
to wrestle
called him
Hogan."
ahead a few times.
Right, right. So if Drew McIntyre, like I could see Drew McIntyre doing the whole, I want the best Edge, I want the rated R superstar, the ultimate opportunist, and then Edge is like, all right, you've brought back the heel, and then he cuts like these heel promos, and then he wrestles McIntyre, and then the night after he's like, I that was my best, and Drew McIntyre gave me my best, and now I'm gonna go have fucking make mac and cheese for my daughters, and we'll do a bunch of
But that's the weird disconnect with Edge, and,
Right.
and also Christian.
Right.
Like it's been
they're dudes.
Over-
We know.
well. It's not that they're dudes. It's 10 fucking years for Edge. Like his career was over 10 years ago,
Right.
right?
Right.
And like he had a miracle a year ago, right?
Yeah.
Where, you know, they're like, oh, yep, I guess you can go bump again.
I
He's
guess.
like, what? You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a different deal. I don't
No,
think
you're
Edge
right.
can ever be a heel again.
Right.
Ever.
You're right.
I don't think there's any scenario where you can be like, well, Edge.
He can act.
heel.
He could act like a heel for a storyline, but
Even if he acts like a heel,
well, that's just going to get him
doesn't
more
matter-
over
yes,
for sure.
Doesn't
Yes.
matter at all.
Yes.
It doesn't matter at all. Because people are going to, like, Edge is going to be Edge.
Right.
But doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
Like, he is going to be Edge. And from what he came back from, like, how exciting was his return last year? That's what I mean. Like, we had no clue. I mean, even if we read bullshit on the internet,
Yeah.
he came out.
They hit it. They hit it really well.
It was fucking awesome, right?
Right.
I was afraid for him. Just like the Mania where Daniel Bryan returned.
Yeah.
I was like, why is this motherfucker wrestling?
Yeah.
You know, like, it's a cool deal, and it.
All right. Let's move on. We've talked a ton about Edge.
Are we still on air?
We are still on air.
You should close this shit out.
Nah, dude. Fuck that.
We
This
have
is
to time this out somewhere.
nope. It's the season premiere. We're going all the way.
I feel like you just realized we're still on.
No, I know we're still on.
You're amazing.
I'm just letting you roll.
You're amazing.
All right. Oh, okay. So we're doing Mania. We're doing Mania predictions.
Fuck.
Okay.
Fuck.
Do you know who are the fucking tag champs right now? Well, okay.
18 of them.
Okay. No, hold on. How about this? So we saw Bad Bunny has started a feud with Miz and Morrison, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately.
So like Sunday night, I was juiced.
Monday night.
Nope. Sunday night, I was like, okay, Bad Bunny, Booker T versus Miz and Morrison at Mania. Cool. Whatever gets Booker T a Mania match, I'm in for that. And Miz and Morrison are the right tag team to make that. They're the right tag team to interact with Bad Bunny for the next 2 months until we get to Mania.
Yeah.
Monday night.
Yeah.
Also what?
I mean, fucking Booker T looked amazing.
Booker T always looks amazing. He's just one of those dudes. He doesn't age. He doesn't age.
I get it.
He turned.
That's fine.
He turned 45 and stopped.
Booker T came out there, crossed his arms. I was like, oh, my God.
Those arms are bigger than my legs.
Yeah. Motherfucker.
Right.
Like, Booker T looks like $1 million.
Yep.
And, yeah, hasn't aged in 20 years.
Right.
And
So-
he's awesome.
So Monday night,
Sucker.
Bad Bunny is on Mid TV, and he brings out his friend Damian Priest. So
Definitely not Booker T.
it was definitely not Booker T. But Damian Priest comes out, scares off Miz and Morrison, then has a match with Miz and beats Miz. So
Big debut.
it's a big Raw debut for Damian Priest. But does that mean we're gonna do Damian Priest and Bad Bunny versus Miz and Morrison at Mania? Because I don't want to see that match at all.
Probably, and I don't think I want to see it as much as I want to see not Bad Bunny, but anybody else on the planet, and Miz and Morrison versus Booker T and anybody else.
So what if we do Booker T and Damian Priest
Yes.
with Bad Bunny against Miz and Morrison?
With whom?
They don't have to
Just
have anybody.
them?
Yeah, they don't have to have anybody.
Okay, I'm in.
Maurice.
Right away.
Maurice shows up.
Fantastic. I'm all in on that too. Man, like, I am super in on Damian Priest.
Yeah?
Yes, I enjoy Damian Priest. I think he is ready for the WWE. But man, he has so many holes.
So many holes.
So many holes.
So many holes.
And But he's got so many pluses.
He's just
Also, he's not generic. He's plus sized.
okay.
He has a big boy voice.
Yep.
He can talk.
Yep.
He can wrestle. But he can't wrestle guys his size.
Right.
Like it's like he's
he
worked
has
his entire career on the indies.
No, listen, he has exactly, he's so like he has exactly the same number of cons as he has pros.
Yes.
So it just makes him like an even
You can't cross anything off.
Exactly.
Like I feel like this guy's a big deal.
Yes.
He looks like he's going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
There's so many things that are holding him back.
Yep.
And man, I want to root for him. I am rooting for him because it's kind of like a, underdog type of deal. Or he shouldn't be an underdog though.
But he hasn't done anything, man. He hasn't done anything.
The only reason he's an
he hasn't
underdog
done
is because
anything.
of his age,
The only reason he's an underdog is because he is not fucking good. Okay, listen. No, yeah, right. Okay, hear me out.
Yeah.
Like just the pros and cons thing we were talking about. He has a good voice, but his promos aren't good. He has a good look, but he doesn't have like a great charismatic delivery. He is athletic, but he's not a good wrestler. You know what I mean? Like every pro he has a con that cancels it out.
The con blocks it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. He hasn't done anything, even the booking, like they booked him into a big spot, but he fucking blew it because he fell on his ass. You know what I mean? Like he hasn't done anything notable, and they're going to put him in this. And listen,
I could make excuses for him.
Well,
the whole time with a lot of your points, but it's like still,
yeah,
it's
and even his so if he goes to Mania in a high profile match, tag teaming with a celebrity against two established superstars like Miz and Morrison.
Wait.
Yeah, okay.
Is Bad Bunny Mad Bunny?
Bad Bunny? Bad
Is that
Bunny?
a celebrity?
They're treating him like it. But that's my point. So even if he goes to Mania with a celebrity tag a celebrity tag team partner against Miz and Morrison, right? Mm-hmm. He's only going to Mania with Bad Bunny against only Miz and Morrison. You know what I mean? This ain't fucking Mr. T. This ain't Mr. T against Piper and Orndorff.
No. Because there's no Piper and Orndorff.
This is my point.
Yeah. Also your point, but that's not going to make him. But if he gets to go there with the celebrity, my God.
Dude, could you imagine? Dude, what if times have changed so much.
Bad Bunny, we're
gonna get Damian Priest and Bad Bunny versus Miz and Morrison in the mid card, right? What could you imagine? So think about Hogan and Mr. T versus Piper and Orndorff. What the fuck would we do right now if we got Drew McIntyre and how about God, I need a celebrity. Fucking give me
from what era?
Right now.
Are there celebrities anymore?
Yes.
I've been told Bad Bunny is one, or Mad Bunny, or what.
Well, I'm trying to think. Okay, on Mr. T's level, right? What if the main event for Mania right this year? What if the main event was okay, all right, main event for Mania, fucking Drew McIntyre and Bradley Cooper versus Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins.
I don't think there's anybody in that match who would legit want to fight Bradley Cooper.
But I'm saying that, like,
Right.
like that's what the who else would who would be a Mr. T style? Can you imagine what that would be like right now? What would that main event be?
Okay. Here's a sadder thing.
Okay.
So you brought the scenario up,
Right.
and the pop culture icon that we want to go with
Okay.
is going to be a fringe pop culture icon, and it's fucking Goldberg.
No, bullshit.
Bullshit. Really?
Yeah, bullshit.
No. He's got wrestling bona fides.
Okay.
And nobody knew about Mr. T back then. So
Hold on.
Mr. T
No.
was a tough guy.
Mr. T had been in. Oh, okay.
He'd been in A-Team and Rocky 3. That's
Okay.
it.
All right. Okay. How about this? So so we need someone like that. So the comparison would be more along the lines of Mr. T. I don't think Rocky 3 and A-Team was fringe pop culture then.
I don't think that Goldberg is French pop culture either, to be honest with you.
For sure. What the fuck is Goldberg has not been in a movie that everybody saw, and he has not been in a TV show that all the men watch.
That's okay. But I feel like wrestling in that point in time overcame that. Like, wrestling was that big then. Okay? Wrestling was that big.
Wrestling
at that point in time.
I don't know about that. That's just wrestling.
I'm not saying
wrestling.
it was bigger than Rocky.
No.
Like,
No. I say like wrestling. Maybe you could say wrestling was on the same level than is now. Mr. T is not on the same level as Goldberg.
man,
I think then. Okay, so you would have to
Mr. T was
like
on more
Jason
homes than
Jason
Goldberg
Statham
was.
would be a better comparison to Mr. T now. Is he the biggest superstar ever? No.
I don't
have most people
Right
seen
now?
him in a lot of
Right
stuff?
now, but,
yes.
But like in 97, 98.
I'm talking about right now. I
Well, I understand,
hold on.
But like,
No, we're
talking
comparing
about stars from then.
We're comparing Mr. T
Okay.
to stars today.
Okay.
So who would be a Mr. T Mr. T in 85.
Still popular TV shows.
Mr. T in 85
Okay. I got it.
has been in Rocky 3 and he's in the A-Team Weekly. Right?
Yep.
Who today would be comparable to Mr. T? Because my first thought is Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, that's it. Honestly, it's
Okay, but
it's the only guy.
but Dwayne Johnson,
the
but also
Bacon's
let's think
Untouched.
beside Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson is the biggest star in the world. Mr. T was
Yes.
not the biggest star in the world.
No, yeah, but
Like
still,
Dwayne,
but
I would almost the
you're not going to find another guy who's a star on a TV show and also was the star of a major motion.
Okay, but think about that level of notoriety, that level of maybe a legitimate tough guy ish, right? Who would like The Rock slides into both those? Who would we have today? Vin Diesel? Everybody, listen, hear me out.
I know.
Hear me out. Everybody knows Vin Diesel. Mm-hmm. He has kind of a niche following, but because he's played a tough guy in all his movies, he kind of has that tough guy edge.
Yeah.
I feel like you could maybe grab a... So I would say Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth.
They're way bigger.
They are way.
That's why
they are
don't
way
go with either of those guys.
for sure. And that's my point. They both have kind of they work out a lot. They're in great shape.
Yeah.
They have kind of like a tough guy. Like, I think that gives them a bit of a tough guy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're amazing athletes because they're in such great shape to play Captain America and Thor. But
But
they
you have to be.
right. Yeah. But they are probably way too A-list because they are Captain America and Thor to come.
I can't think of a comp, dude. I really can't. Like, it's the only comp is for sure The Rock and like Walking Tall and The Rundown and that era of The Rock. Like, it really is. I can't think of.
See, I think a Jason Statham. I think Statham, because Statham has been in like Statham. So he hasn't been in the TV show, but he has been in so many action movies, right? That he and people know he's in great shape. People know he's kind of a martial artist. So like if you grabbed a Jason Statham, people would recognize him and kind of buy him as a tough guy. And all of a sudden, he's going to be on.
I'm all in on this. Like, you're not trying to talk me into it. I'm going to try to talk you out of it. Like, my only thing is, like, Jason Statham does not look like a tough guy.
For sure.
Like, we fucking, one of our favorite movies, Jason Statham was the straight guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
The straight guy. He was the fucking.
He was the straight guy.
Yeah,
no, in Snatch, he was absolutely the straight man.
He didn't kick one person in the chin.
No.
Like, he had plenty of opportunity to, because Bricktop came in and what's the definition of nemesis?
He was the straight guy for Bricktop. He was the straight guy for Tommy.
Right.
Says he's named after a gun. But I know he's named after a French ballet dancer. Yes.
How much longer on those sausages? 2 minutes, Turkish.
But I'm also not suggesting this. This is
right.
This has slipped from a like this is not a Mania prediction. This is a thought experiment.
Are we? Fuck. Man.
We're wrapping up. Hold on.
We are.
Don't mix another drink.
Right.
We're wrapping up.
I'm bad.
It's just a thought experiment. Okay, so Drew McIntyre, Jason Statham versus who's the Piper Orndorff? I said Reigns and Rollins. Is there a better fitting Piper Orndorff than like a Reigns and Rollins?
I'm gonna go with this is actually no. I love this. So Statham, McIntyre.
Yep.
Bobby Lashley, MVP.
Woo! But except okay, so that match was Hogan, Mr. T, with Snuka, versus Piper Orndorff with
Bob Orton.
Mm-hmm. So what you've suggested is
we got the whole Hurt business.
Yes, what you have suggested is McIntyre, Jason Statham.
Actually, you know what?
Stop.
I want to rescind.
Nope, too late.
Okay.
Let me at least finish my thought.
Okay.
So what you have suggested is McIntyre, Statham versus Bobby Lashley, and not MVP. MVP will be on the ringside.
Okay.
So it'll be Lashley,
Shelton Benjamin. Thank you for amending what I
with MVP on the ringside.
Correct. Yes.
So who's going to be with? So who's the Snuka? We could say it was Sheamus, except he turned on Drew McIntyre this week. Yeah. So the
Jinder Mahal.
Get the fuck out of here.
I don't know, man. I don't think they have one. I don't think they have a Snuka.
It'd be like you know who it'd be
against that fucking the
you know who it'd be?
Who?
It'd be Becky Lynch. She'd show up. All she'd have to do is show up for a couple promos and do like a Hurricanrana at Mania on the MVP.
I whip this shit out of fucking the back exploder on MVP. You know he's game for it.
Yes, fuck yeah,
man.
I mean, he's not afraid to take bumps.
Why are we not booking Mania? Is Jason Statham ready?
Hey, they're in. Hey, I don't know, man.
Damn.
All right, you had a thought that I cut you off of. What was your thought?
No, you finished it.
Okay,
It was the
all right.
fucking who's going to be the seconds?
Now here is my big problem with what you've suggested. Fucking Bobby Lashley ain't no fucking Piper.
No. But MVP is.
So in this
No.
you're right.
Wait a
Okay.
second.
So in this
Nobody is
scenario,
Roddy Piper. Nobody is.
no,
But
you're right. You're right. In this scenario,
MVP is
okay,
fucking Roddy
okay,
Piper.
okay. So let me fix it.
The Hurt Business.
Let me fix it. You ready for me to fix it?
Yes.
Because the match is Drew McIntyre and Jason Statham versus MVP, who is our Roddy Piper, and Bobby Lashley, who is our Bob Orndorff, with fucking Shelton Benjamin.
No.
Yeah, listen,
Okay.
Piper, fucking Orndorff, Orton. Who's the best wrestler?
Orton and Orndorff.
Orton at ringside, right?
Right.
So if we have MVP and Bobby Lashley with Shelton Benjamin at ringside, that's that tag team,
My God.
right?
Yes.
Because fucking like is MVP ain't no Piper, but he's that Piper.
MVP can yes.
MVP is going to
He can
deliver.
own a fucking-
MVP is going to be the guy that we're going to send to
Especially in this
MTV.
era-
He's going to
especially
be
in
the
this
guy that we
era.
send to Entertainment Tonight. He's
In
going to be
this
the guy
era,
that we
MVP
send.
is for sure going to own the fucking Mania.
He's going to be the guy.
That is going to be the guy.
Yes, MVP is going to be the guy that shows up everywhere and is untouchable on the fucking microphone with Jason Statham, right? Showing up and work to do crunches and push-ups with Drew McIntyre.
Right.
And Bobby Lashley is going to be the best looking guy in the ring, like Paul Orndorff was. And Bob Orton, Shelton Benjamin, is going to be the best wrestler at that show, like Cowboy Bob was.
Yep.
And then Drew McIntyre, and I compared Drew McIntyre to Hulk Hogan last year because he has that ability to
Man, but he's
he has that ability
better.
to be he's compared to what we have.
Like,
So
I mean, in this day and age.
so let me talk about let me compare them, because what Hulk Hogan had that Drew McIntyre has is that ability to smile and still look like a tough guy.
Yeah, I get that.
You know, not a lot of guys have that ability to be like, hey, look at me, I'm a smile, I'm a good baby face, and still be like, I bet he would whoop my ass.
Yeah.
You know, Hogan had that. Like, you looked at Hogan, and Hogan could smile and do the ear wave and talk about saying the prayers and taking the vitamins, and he was kind of cartoony, but you still were like, I don't want to fight Hulk Hogan.
No. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And Drew's that same way. Drew can smile and laugh.
Yeah.
And I really saw it when because Drew McIntyre was the guy who killed Rowan's when he had the spider in the cage. Yeah. Remember, he was the guy who smashed the spider in the cage? Like, when he did that, because he smashed that spider and it was a totally goofy segment, but he did it all with a smile on his face, and it was like, fuck you, Eric Rowan. And it was this moment where I was like, you know what? Like, he is smiling and he's kind of cartoony, but I still buy that he is tougher than Eric Rowan. Right. And I was like, that's what Hogan had that Drew McIntyre has.
I could see that. And like
now here's what's going to be the main problem.
Right.
Jason Statham's going to show up, and he's not going to quite come up to Drew McIntyre's waist.
Or Bobby Lashley's.
So we're going to have to contrive a bunch.
His head's going to be way bigger.
We're going to have to contrive a bunch of reasons for Jason Statham to show up and stand on boxes.
Right. Yeah. We can do that.
I'm sure we can do that.
We can. It's been a good episode.
Oh, good God Almighty, guys! It's the season premiere. This is what you got to look forward to.
Good God Almighty!
A whole nother year of the Drunk Rasslin podcast coming. Don't load up. We got a drink here, bro. Raise your glass. Raise your glass. Anyway. Oh, load up. Do what you got to do.
Sorry.
Raise your glass, Jonesy. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. If you have enjoyed what we do here, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so we can get all up in that YouTube algorithm. If you prefer to listen to us on an audio broadcast, make sure to find us on your favorite audio broadcasting, Podbean, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, whatever. We're there. If we're not, find us on Facebook, Twitter. Slide up in the DMs and let us know so we can get on your favorite audio podcast.
And also, let Jaron know to watch that fucking Dax Harwood versus Jungle Boy match.
Good God Almighty. At me on Google.
I need all your help.
At me on Google or comment on Facebook or comment below here. If we get double, it's at Zero Hype Guy.
God damn it. At Zero Hype Guy. Why?
That's the brand, bro. What do you want from me?
Have we been calling this out wrong the whole time?
No, we've never called out we have never called out my Twitter handle before.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we tried once.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight as we begin another full year of exciting Drunk Rasslin podcasts.
Year, man. So cool.
Welcome to season 2. And make sure you guys always drink responsibly so that you don't miss a single episode over the next year. And as we endeavor to bring you more Drunk Rasslin podcasting, watch-alongs, old school wrestling, new school judgment, yelling at clouds, old men coming out, shaking our walkers, telling you young Zoomers to get off our fucking lawns. Whatever you watch us for, good God Almighty, Jonesy!
Woo! Yes!
We raise a glass to you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next week on the road. The road!
Oh!
The road!
Really?
To WrestleMania.